Queen Elizabeth. President Biden says he's concerned about the king and will be talking with him. The president's in Las Vegas ahead of tomorrow's primaries in Nevada. He's been urging Congress to send a bipartisan security package to his desk, but the Senate proposal is facing some opposition, especially from Republicans, including Montana Senator Steve Daines, a member of GOP leadership.
He writes this on X: I cannot support a bill that doesn't secure the border, provides taxpayer-funded lawyers to illegal immigrants, and gives billions to radical open border groups.
Fox's Aisha Hasni on Capitol Hill. House Speaker Mike Johnson says he doubts the bill meets the criteria to solve the problem. Bipartisan negotiators say it would make a difference, ending catch and release and strengthening asylum rules. Iran proxy groups remain on the attack, targeting U.S. forces in Syria 3 times since Friday, despite a stepped-up U.S. response.
U.S. officials say since Friday evening, the military has been carrying out multiple retaliatory and self-defense strikes against these Iranian-backed militias operating in places like Iraq, Syria, and Yemen. And there's no indication these strikes are going to be stopping anytime soon.
Fox's Mark Meredith at the White House. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why he flew to Texas. Mostly clear skies, 50 degrees downtown. You get a clear radar. Low of 28 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. Several Republican governors were in Eagle Pass, Texas Sunday, where Texas Governor Greg Abbott said he does not believe Biden is doing enough to keep migrants from coming to the U.S. illegally.
Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3 of the United States Constitution, where a state can defend itself and its citizens to protect their safety from the imminent danger that we are facing.
Your governor, Eric Holcomb, was there. He would like President Biden to do more to secure the border. Indiana Congresswoman Victoria Spartz says she's running for re-election, even though she previously announced her retirement.
I truly believe, and meeting with a lot of people on the ground, these are challenging times, and I need people of the 5th District decide and God decide, because I need to deliver for them.
Spartz told WIBC's Tony Katz she's concerned about the border and the national debt getting worse. A man from Columbus was caught aiming a laser pointer at a deputy's car and at planes outside the city's airport Saturday night. The Bartholomew County Sheriff's Department says Christopher Clem was the one pointing that laser from a nearby car. 2 laser pointers, meth, and crushed painkillers were found inside the vehicle, along with a pistol. He's now in the county jail. William Shatner, Indiana University, and the path of totality. Wes Woodward reports on the solar eclipse coming April 8th.
Beloved actor William Shatner, a.k.a. Captain Kirk from Star Trek, will deliver a spoken word performance before the total eclipse of the sun at IU's Memorial Stadium during the star-studded Hoosier Cosmic Celebration. 10-time Grammy Award-nominated singer, songwriter, and actress Janelle Monáe headlines the show, and former NASA astronaut Dr. Mae Jemison, the first woman of color to travel in space, will also appear on stage to deliver remarks. Monáe will take the stage immediately following the total eclipse, which occurs at 3:05 p.m. and will last for approximately 4 minutes. Wes Woodward, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
After years of discomfort, it's like I'm alive again.
Sonia Hackett talks about how QC Kinetics changed her life.
QC Kinetics has given me my quality of life back.
Before QC Kinetics, Sonia suffered from horrible knee and back pain stemming from a car accident.
I was wearing knee braces just to try to maneuver around.
Sonia hated the idea of pain meds, and surgery seemed too risky, so she turned to the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics, the leaders in advanced regenerative medicine.
That consultation just changed my life. I can do the treadmill, everything. I don't have anything holding me back. The quality of life is pain-free. QC Kinetics has made us very happy.
Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today.
I'm going to get emotional again. They are like family members to me. They care.
Call QC Kinetics now.
Call QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN. In Eagle Creek, Greenwood, and Carmel. 317-559-PAIN.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05, here's Matt Bear.
Harrison, I'm trying to get eyes on Greenwood here, southbound 65 at Main Street, exit 99. Stop traffic right now, barely moving at all, and that backup almost stretches to County Line Road. Not back that far yet. Also on the south side, northbound 37 stops, Epler Avenue to 465 because of construction, and we have a hit and run at 82nd and Fall Creek Road. Be careful in that area. Traffic sponsored by Active 6. COVID-19 restrictions have lifted, but COVID research research isn't done yet. Learn how you can participate in the Active 6 study. Visit active6study.org/radio. That's active6study.org/radio. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies remain overnight. Low temperatures in the upper 20s. Tomorrow, back to mostly cloudy skies. High temperatures in the upper 40s. On Wish TV, Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
My name is Nigel. That's Jason Hammer right over there. The good time party boys in the Senate. On the Republican side, you got old Cocaine Mitch. Democrats crying Chuck. They came up with a quote-unquote border security bill and finally released it to the public, Hammer. And I think I know why they sat on it for weeks and finally dumped it on the public late last night. It sucks.
If you put your nose up to the radio right now, you'll be able to smell the wafting aroma of poo coming off of this bill. It's a turd. It is an absolute total turd. And the fact that there are Republicans saying that this is a good bill is laughable. This thing is an absolute total disgrace. So the draft that was released says that the $118 billion bipartisan bill would provide $60 billion in military aid to Ukraine.
Oh, there it is.
$14 billion to Israel and $20 billion for border security. So border security in the border bill, which is kind of what its working name is a third of what's going to Zelensky in Ukraine at this point.
With no oversight, no audit whatsoever. Just here you go. Here's another 60. I mean, this is worse than we thought. This bill still involves letting thousands of illegals in daily, paying for their lawyers. Hey, but the good news is they're also giving Biden the ability to cap that number if it gets above 5,000 a day.
That's in the bill. That was rolled out to the masses yesterday. Not only does the bill codify 1.5 million illegal border crossers into law, but the, quote, border emergency that automatically gets implemented at 5,000 crossings per day can be overturned like that by Joe Biden.
Another thing about that number, 5,000 a day, I'm reading right now. The 5,000, it only counts if you're Canadian or Mexican. That's read the fine print. So, like, you know, if the 5,000 Mexicans breach our border, that's time to shut it down. It doesn't have anything to do with, I don't know, the Iranians that have been coming in, people from Venezuela, people from China. Come on in. Everybody and their moms, come on in. That's an interesting little caveat to that 5,000 number, I thought.
And if the 1.5 million wasn't enough, according to the draft that was rolled out, it locks in green card giveaways through the year 2030. And oh, by the way, and I can't stress this enough, never really closes the border. The border never really closes. It's just a leak, a big hole in the side of the Titanic that takes on water now through the end of time. This thing stinks. And the fact that you've got guys like Mitch McConnell and some other just wishy-washy, weak Republicans supporting this, it's disgusting.
Yeah, the senator from Oklahoma helped negotiate this bill with those two. He's a Republican. I mean, when you have Cocaine Mitch, crying Chuck, when you have Joe Biden, when you have CNN touting this is the end-all, be-all, the cure to our problems, you know something's wrong at the border. Problems at the border solved. When you have CNN and Biden and Cocaine Mitch and crying Chuck all agreeing here, this, you know, it's all an act.
Now, it's going to be dead on arrival going to the House. It's going to be dead on arrival.
I don't know if it makes it out of
the
the Senate. I mean, there's going to be some Republicans voting for it, but there's some Democrats that won't vote for it, from what I'm hearing.
Indiana Senator Mike Braun on social media, quote, "Take them at their word, the border never closes. Pretending to close the border Only after we exceed 35,000 illegal entries per week is baselining 1.8 million illegal entries into the United States every year. The cartels run the border and will continue to exploit our weakness, build the wall, enforce the law.
I mean, first of all, obviously they need to separate all these bills individually. The Senate already has H.R. 2, which is the Secure the Borders Act, and then they need a separate bill for money for Israel, and then slap those bills on Biden's desk and say, "Here you go, old man. I dare you to veto this." But that's not what they're doing here.
No. Senator Mike Lee of Utah, quote, "The new bill provides more money for Ukraine than the United States Marine Corps. Fun fact, the U.S. Marine Corps budget in fiscal year 23 was $53.8 billion.
Hello.
This bill would give Ukraine more than $60 billion.
Again, with no ability to audit, no oversight whatsoever. Just here's the pallet, take it, see ya.
Now, on the other side, you've got the Democrats. This is their wish. This is their dream bill, right? We've spent the majority of our time talking about the wishy-washy Republicans who think this is some sort of gain. Chuck Schumer loves this. And listen to the way that he's positioning this to the masses.
We're at a turning point in America. This bill is crucial, and history will look back on it and say, did America fail itself? Why is it crucial? Well, if we don't aid Ukraine, Putin will walk all over Ukraine. We will lose the war, and we could be fighting in Eastern Europe in a NATO ally in a few years. Americans won't like that.
Oh, boy, your sons and daughters are going to be fighting in a NATO ally country if we don't give them the $60 billion.
That's such a ridiculous statement from Chuck Schumer. And the fact that very few people have pushed back on that infuriates me. Like, all of a sudden, Russia, who's had let's be honest, a pretty hard time finishing off the Ukrainians here, all of a sudden they're just going to walk over to France and say, yeah, we're rolling now. We're taking over NATO countries. That's not happening because their fear is that, well, once they take over Ukraine, they're not going to stop. That's not what this is about. That's never what this has been about.
And back here to the southern border, whether you like it or not, I mean, here's what you need to know. We're under invasion. It's just not like in the traditional sense, but there are steps that could be taken today and that were actually in place. Those steps were in place when Biden won the election, and he immediately signed executive orders destroying all the good Trump did at the border. Absolutely decimated the Trump-era border policies.
Speaking of Donald Trump, he has shared his thoughts on this border bill on social media. He took to Truth Social. He writes, quote, "Only a fool or a radical left Democrat would vote for this horrendous border bill, which only gives shutdown authority after 5,000 encounters a day, when we already have the right to close the border now, which must be done. This bill is a great gift to the Democrats and a death wish for the Republican Party. It takes the horrible job the Democrats have done on immigration and the border, absolves them, and puts it squarely on the shoulders of Republicans." Now, he goes on in this post, and I feel like to really capture the feeling that Donald Trump has. Nigel, could I get your angry Trump impression to finish the rest of this post on Truth Social?
Don't be stupid! We need a separate border and immigration bill. It should not be tied to foreign aid in any way, shape, or form. The Democrats broke immigration and the border. They should fix it. Make America great again.
There it is. Well done. I love how each time we have you do your god-awful Trump impression, you add a little something into it. Like at first it was the sucking of the spit.
Yes.
And now I see the levels, the up.
Yeah, you got to come down a little bit. You
got to go down a little bit. Make America great again and go right back up. Well done. Matt Bear standing by. He has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, here it is. Greenwood southbound 65 crash at the Main Street exit. That's Main Street Rock Lane. Exit 99. 2 right lanes are blocked. Traffic jammed up. Back to County Line Road. Delay time is 13 minutes. We could consider a trip on US 31 instead. Crash northeast side 82nd and Fall Creek Road, and also south side northbound 37 jams at Epler because of construction. Traffic sponsored by the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Guys, solve your ED today with an intimacy guarantee only at the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. If you don't perform, you don't pay. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic at 999-9000. That's 999-9000. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
We have got a lot going on here today. Sometime in the next 45 minutes, we're going to give away tickets to see Barry freaking Manilow. How about that?
Cool.
Man, farewell tour from Barry Manilow. Those tickets before 4 o'clock. And then sometime before 7, we've got Luke Bryan.
I'm Luke Bryan.
Luke Bryan tickets to give away. So we are bribing the bejesus out of you today. Don't go anywhere else. Keep it right here. Right now, it's 51 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
He's tough, and he knows what's worth fighting for. Mike Speedy. Mike Speedy built a family and a successful Indiana-based business. Like many of us, Mike is also no stranger to real-life challenges.
In 2020, I learned I had cancer. Within 2 weeks, I was having surgery. I got the initial all clear, and then I came back for a checkup, and they said, no, it had metastasized through your abdomen and your lymph nodes. I had another massive surgery and went through chemo. It was a difficult time, but I knew that it was God's plan because there was nothing we could do to change it.
By the grace of God, Mike Speedy beat cancer. Now Mike Speedy is ready to fight for us. Mike wants to join President Trump in securing the border and defeating the swamp and woke mob. Mike Speedy will always fight for life and liberty. Mike Speedy is the conservative with the toughness to win. Mike Speedy, conservative for Congress.
I'm Mike Speedy, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Speedy for Congress.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, savvy, staying ahead of the market at every turn, finding ways to do more with less, and taking advantage of every opportunity that comes their way. That's why Comcast Business is introducing the Small Business Bonus. For a limited time, you can get up to a $1,000 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle when you switch to Comcast Business, the company with the largest, fastest, reliable network. So if you're a small business owner, don't wait. Call or go online to learn about the $1,000 bonus today.
Give your business a head start in 2024. Get started with internet and security for $49 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement when you add one unlimited mobile line. Call or go online to switch today. Ends 2/21/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 100 megabits per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Guys, if you notice a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. Be sure to schedule your health assessment at Low T Center. They offer the convenience of physician-monitored, self-inject, at-home testosterone treatments with an average payment of just $150 a month cash pay, including labs and medication.
If you don't live near a Low T Center or you just need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center makes it easy, shipping treatments directly to you. LowTCenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Franciscan Health has been your hometown leader in heart care for decades. Recognized in 2024 by Health Grades as the #1 hospital in Indiana for cardiology and by CareChecks as #1 in Indiana for major cardiac surgery and interventional coronary care, we're proud to keep the hearts of our community beating strong. Franciscan Health, where our greatest reward has always been serving you. Take a heart risk assessment or schedule an appointment at franciscanhealth.org/heartcare.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
All right, I missed Nikki Haley, who's running for that GOP presidential nomination. I missed her on SNL this past weekend. I don't know. Her showing up on SNL again tells me all I need to know.
Right.
About Nikki Haley.
Now, if you think about it, though, Donald Trump hosted SNL when he was running for the presidency back in 2016, I think it was.
That was before he was evil orange man, Trump derangement syndrome.
Right. Do you think SNL now would ever give Donald Trump the opportunity to come on and be wacky and be charming and appeal to people? Not a chance.
Kidding me?
So they kind of threw a lifeline to Nikki Haley this past weekend. She was doing a sketch where she was like doing a town hall. Now, if you remember, she had a town hall, I think it was on CNN, where she butchered the question, what started the Civil War? Or what was the Civil War about, rather? And everybody just wanted her to say slavery, and she didn't say it, and she upset a lot of people. So this was Nikki Haley this past weekend opening up Saturday Night Live.
Just curious, what would you say was the main cause of the Civil War? And do you think it starts with an S and ends with a lavery?
Yep, I probably should have said that the first time. And live from New York, it's Saturday night.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the people on that show, the writers for that show, the players on that show all hate Donald Trump. They all hate Republicans in general. And they are propping Nikki Haley up, and it should say something. It should tell. What does it tell you? It tells you that they want Donald Trump gone, and they'll try to help Nikki Haley along any way possible.
This is the same cast where when Elon Musk went to host, who's not a politician, Elon Musk went to host SNL. You had cast members not wanting to work that week because,
yeah, that's right.
Evil spaceman likes freedom of speech. So that tells you all you need to know about that show. And I talked about this with Rob and Casey the other day when I went on with their program. SNL has always done politics. They've always had somebody that's been the president, and they've made fun of politicians, but it wasn't all they were. They used to have characters, right?
And it wasn't mean-spirited either.
Right. Like they've always had somebody making fun of the president, but in kind of a fun way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you had Chris Farley as the motivational speaker, or Belushi as the samurai in the deli, Adam Sandler singing his silly types of songs and things, Dana Carvey, the church lady. Very few characters anymore on Saturday Night Live. It's all just left-wing, orange man bad politics. We haven't done this in a while.
We have.
From the people who bring you legal stuff, it's time for some religious stuff.
Oh.
God.
There's a God somewhere.
Satan. Donations.
Donations. I thought it was a trap.
Religious stuff.
Can I get a amen? I am very happy to be here.
I'm going to read you this headline from the New York Post. This is a real headline from a respected paper in our nation. Quote, sex noises from San Diego massage parlor interrupt church service, lead to prostitution bust.
Oh, man, that's the last thing you want to hear when you're saying the Lord's prayers, moaning and groaning.
I mean, maybe somebody else was saying the Lord's name as well. Who knows? The, quote, sex noises were echoing out of this massage parlor nearby, and people who were going in for a church service, they kept hearing it echo throughout the church, so they called the police, and this led to 4 arrests, and it turns out that this massage parlor was nothing but a brothel.
Wow, how close in proximity do you have to be if you're that church to hear moaning and groaning coming out of a brothel.
Or how much were you enjoying yourself at the brothel to where you got your voice over at the church? It's like the chicken and the egg, right? 4 people were arrested for prostitution, and the city is looking to take legal action to shut down the massage parlor.
Side note, speaking of doing the hibbity-dibbity, remember that Democratic aide who got caught in the Senate chamber having hot man love with an unknown person?
Filmed it.
Filmed it, yeah. It's on tape, Senate hearing room, and no charges for the guy.
None.
So you can put your feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk and get 12 years. But you film yourself, having gay sex in a Senate chamber room. Get out of here. Capitol Police say they can find no evidence of a crime. This was the staff member for Senator Ben Cardin.
Got it.
Democrat Adam.
So the same people who couldn't figure out whose cocaine it was can't figure out if there was a crime committed here. Interesting. I have a feeling if that were like a Ted Cruz staffer or a Matt Gaetz staffer,
they'd find a way. They'd find a crime.
They'd open up Guantanamo again and then fly that person down there. If you're looking for a reason to drink tonight, there's 2 reasons. Number 1, it's National Weather Person's Day, which we've been celebrating, all, day long, all month long. A lot of friends over at Wish TV, Marcus Bailey, Tara Hastings and company. But it's also National Fart Day.
Oh, that's not a real thing.
National Fart Day has been observed on February 5th since 2008 as the day to stop suppressing accumulated gas and just relax.
Just let loose.
Just let loose.
Don't hold it on even if you're in an office setting because it's National Fart Day.
Right. This is not something we've made up. You can look at this for yourself. Go Google it. So, who are we to not celebrate on this very special date on the calendar? Ladies and gentlemen, California Representative Eric Swalwell.
The president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election.
That was a live interview on MSNBC. And I think this is my favorite.
Oh, gosh.
This one I think is my favorite. Okay. I like this better than Eric Swalwell. Wendy Williams on her talk show. She's talking about somebody cheating on somebody, and then she has a burp, but the burp triggers a fart.
And she probably got 5 new boyfriends. We haven't caught anybody coming out of the house yet, but just a matter of time. She's not lonely. I apologize.
The audible groan from that crowd.
Oh.
Can I hear that one more time, please,
goodness.
Allison? The audible just groan of disgust from the Wendy Williams crowd.
And she probably got 5 new boyfriends. We haven't caught anybody coming out of the house yet, but just a matter of time. She's not lonely.
Oh.
I apologize.
Oh. So, for those who celebrate, you know what day it is. Congratulations. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Your health is about so much more than your medical needs. So, shouldn't your health plan be too? If you qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, a Humana Medicare Advantage dual eligible special needs plan could help you buy essentials you need. Get $3,000 a year for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend rolls over to the next month. You'll even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, and hearing coverage. Get peace of mind with a Medicare plan that is there for the big moments and every moment in between. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning. Owner Robert Kirby loves the American Standard brand because the dealers actually have a say in how things are built.
We've been to the factory and actually on the assembly line, they're asking, is there anything that we could change with the product or anything that you think would better the product? And they actually take your input on the line. So I've seen some improvements from just our input.
See the American Standard quality for yourself at KirbyHeating.com. Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Dads happen. There's a whole lot of stuff that can mess up the look of your vehicle.
Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal. PDR is paintless dent removal that saves your factory finish and is way less invasive than traditional body shop repairs. And it's faster too, sometimes same day. Google Kill a Dent Removal and check out the reviews and photos. Then schedule your repair. Hail baseballs, kids, fender benders, shopping carts, flying cows, angry X's, and anything else that leaves dents. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal.
I feel occasional burning and stabbing in my hands as I age.
I sometimes feel numbness and tingling in my feet as I get older.
It's starting to get in the way of doing what I love.
At Nervive, we hear you, and we can help. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use.
Now that I know, I'm taking control.
Try Nervive Nerve Relief and say yes to healthy nerves.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Not sure what kind of cancer. Mostly sunny and 50 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your radar's clear. Low temps drop just below 30 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:31. King Charles has been diagnosed with cancer. Fox's Jonathan Savage reports from London.
The cancer was discovered during the King's recent hospital treatment for an enlarged prostate. The type of cancer hasn't been revealed. We just know it's not prostate cancer. Neither is Buckingham Palace sharing a prognosis. King Charles has been advised by doctors to pause public-facing duties while he undergoes regular treatments. The palace says the King remains wholly positive and looks forward to returning to duty as soon as possible. We're told the King is sharing his diagnosis to prevent speculation and help public understanding for cancer sufferers around the world. In London, Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb and other Republican governors joined Texas Governor Greg Abbott at the southern border Sunday.
The president is obligated by laws passed by Congress to actually secure the border and deny illegal entry. Texas has shown that we can reduce it to 3 people crossing across the border.
Abbott says Texas will expand its self-defense area to protect its own communities. Governor Holcomb says Biden needs to work on securing the border. Indiana Republican Congresswoman Victoria Spartz has decided to run for re-election, even though she said she would retire last year. Spartz says there are 2 reasons why she changed her mind. 1, fix the national debt. 2, illegal immigration.
And unfortunately, this is an issue so destructive for our country, and unfortunately, we haven't been able to hold the ground as we should, the Republicans.
Talking with WIBC's Tony Katz, the Ukrainian-born lawmaker first joined Congress in 2021. The Energizer Bunny will be marching out of Johnson County this spring. Wes Woodward explains.
Energizer Battery says it will close its Franklin facility in April. Layoffs will begin April 1st, with the Franklin plant expected to be fully closed by the end of the month. The company providing those dates to the state through its official worker adjustment and retraining notification notice. The company's official filing says 64 jobs will be eliminated in the move. Energizer announced last fall that it planned to cease packing operations at the facility in the first half of 2024. Wes Woodward, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:33.
Terry Stacy for Cardwell Do It Best Home Center, just south of the Gateway Arch on Indy's South Side. Your discount roofing headquarters. Stop in for wholesale and factory direct pricing on the roofing shingles and supplies you need at the price you love. They offer dimensional and 3-tab shingles at low, low prices. Cardwell also carries a full line of best look quality paints produced by Sherwin-Williams, America's largest paint manufacturer, with paint and primer all in one. Cardwell also carries a full line of Hillman fasteners, and for winter, snow shovels, rock salt, and ice melter all in stock. At Cardwell Do It Best, you'll also find a full line of lawn and garden supplies, plumbing, electrical, with lumber and building materials too. Cardwell Home Center. Shop online at cardwellhomecenter.com with over 67,000 products available and free shipping to the store. Cardwell Do It Best, 3205 Madison Avenue, just south of the Gateway Arch on Indy's South Side, serving the greater Indianapolis community since 1945.
With traffic at 3:34, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, trouble in Greenwood right now. The crash is at southbound 65 at Main Street exit 99, and as we talk, it did push out of the interstate, so it's going to relocate to the shoulder. That's what we have done, and traffic is still stopped back to Stop 11 Road. That's about 2.5 mile delay there for 12 minutes. Again, southbound 65 all clogged up from Stop 11 down to Main Street in Greenwood because of a crash. Eastbound 70 slows 2 down downtown Harding to Meridian, Illinois. Southbound 65 stop and go from 21st to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show. The Spring Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show offers free parking and $5 tickets at suburbanindieshows.com. February 9th through the 11th at Grand Park in Westfield. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies remain overnight. Low temperatures in the upper 20s. Tomorrow, back to mostly cloudy skies. High temperatures in the upper 40s. On Wish TV, Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.
It's Monday Gun Day with the Gun Guy.
Just watch out for the guns. They'll get you.
Guy Relford.
Stop calling your arms guns.
Hammer and Nigel show.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a special guest on the hotline.
He is a 2A attorney, a firearms instructor, and the host of the Gun Guy Show. Weekends here at 93 WIBC. Guy Relford joins us. Guy, how are you?
Man, I'm great, and thanks as always to our sponsor for Monday Gun Day. That's Premier Arms in Brownsburg, with the largest selection of new, used, and historic firearms in the Midwest, and PA Jewelers located right in the store. Check them out at 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg or premierarms.com.
So last week, Representative Jim Lucas, he's at the State House. There's a group of high school students, gun activists. They're
anti-gun
activists, and they're having a conversation. And then one thing leads to another. Representative Lucas tells them, I'm carrying, and just opens up his coat and shows that he's carrying his firearm.
Which is holstered.
Right. Well, the media ran wild with this, but at the same time, it may have been kind of a poor decision from Jim Lucas. You had him on your program this past weekend. Take me through that conversation.
Yeah, Jim called in, and I was talking about the legislative session in general, and then I was going to get into what happened with Jim, and it's been all over the media, and discussed on WIBC, and so the phone rings, and it's Jim, and he's actually on his way back from Texas, where he'd gone to view the border, which is a whole other discussion. And he was willing to discuss it, and he hadn't made any other public comments on it. And so, I was pleased that he was willing to discuss the whole thing on my show. And he took us through the whole event. And the problem is that a lot of people are just listening to news accounts or reading social media posts and are not going back and just watching the damn video, which is out there. It's available. I've posted it multiple times on my social media, and you can see the whole video. And Jim just kind of went through it and said, "Listen, I'm there in the State House, and I didn't even know who these people are. I just see a group of young ladies, younger, what he called young adults. They turned out to be high school students." And I just said, "Hey, what are you guys doing here?" Because he was actually feeling good about seeing young people down at the State House involved in the legislative process. And it turns out that it's a group of folks from a group called Students Demand Action, which is a subset of Moms Demand Action, and so which is obviously a gun control group. And so they're down there advocating for more gun control. And Jim decided to engage them in a conversation and said, well, let's talk about that. And so they're having what appears, and again, it's all on video, so nobody should accept anyone else's portrayal of the event. They should go find the video and watch the whole damn thing. But he's talking about how, listen, primarily the students started talking about how it makes them feel unsafe that there are too many guns out there, and they were talking about their emotions, and the conversation was primarily about their emotions. And Jim was making the point of, well, it's not really about emotions, it's about facts, and a bad guy doesn't care about your emotions. And by the way, is there a law out there I can pass that is not just going to make you feel better, but it's actually going to convince criminals to not be criminals? And I'm paraphrasing, and people should go watch the video. But at one point, the kids were just basically making the point that guns make them feel unsafe in general. And Jim said, well, come on, I'm carrying a gun right now. And he opens up his suit jacket to reveal that he's carrying a gun in a holster. And I think a fair portrayal of it is that he was trying to say, why would you feel unsafe just by a gun? Because, for instance, I'm carrying one right now, and I'm obviously no threat to you.
Right.
But then, of course, what do you get? And it's being videoed by the State House Files, which is a notoriously anti-gun media group. And so they go out and they say, this guy is intimidating and threatening high school students, and it just kind of went on from there. And I was disappointed in the media coverage. At the same time, I can definitely question the decision-making process. So anyway, Jim came on, and people can hear the whole video. WIBC News has put it out on the WIBC website, and listen to the whole video, and Jim talks about it quite a bit. And he said, listen, I was basically trying to be the opposite of intimidating. I was trying to show them there's no legitimate reason to fear firearms because, good people like me carry firearms too. But it got spun a completely different way. And then at the same time, because I had to be objective about it, and Jim and I are friends, and so, sometimes it's not easy to be objective. But at one point I said, but Jim, I got to tell you, when I was watching the video and you opened up your suit coat to show, hey, I'm carrying a gun right now, I literally, I did a face palm and said, no, Jim, what are you doing?
Because, Guy, I think you and I are on the same page. Guy, I think you and I are on the same page here because I talked about it on Friday. Like, the media coverage of this makes it sound like he took his gun out, stuck it in a kid's mouth, and asked him if he feels lucky. But at the same time, that wouldn't be a problem if you didn't just show the kid your weapon in the first place, because I don't think any kid asked to see it.
No, exactly. I mean, he was making his point that you shouldn't be afraid of guns in general, and he's saying, "Hey, look at me! I'm a legislator in a suit doing my job. I'm carrying a gun, so obviously a gun in and of itself is not a threat. And here, hey, look, let me show you." And I get that, and it's a legitimate point. But my goodness, and this is the point. And Jim conceded. He said, "Look, I miscalculated." I think was the quote on my show. Because he didn't understand, or at least at the time anticipate, what I think was a completely predictable response, which is, I'm triggered, I'm afraid, I'm intimidated, I've been threatened, and then the media takes off with it, and unfortunately, even what I would consider more conservative news channels even picked up on it too, and were very, very negative. And I don't know. I was glad Jim came on. At the same time, I did have to tell him, and I was very objective as I can be on this, and said, I got to tell you, it was completely predictable what response you were going to get. So, again, I didn't say it in these words, but the thought was, what the hell are you thinking by showing the gun in your,
That's
your
not
holster
something you would have done,
at the time.
Is what you're saying. That's not something, as a gun safety expert and a Second Amendment attorney, you probably, while you were sitting there educating scared little teenage kids that have only known and been indoctrinated that guns are bad, you probably would not have, opened up your jacket and showed them your piece.
Well, at that point, Nigel, that's exactly right, and I couldn't agree more. At the same time, also you got to consider your audience. Who are you talking to? You're talking about kids, and this is from a school in Muncie that's primarily it's not a public school up there. It's a school primarily where professors' kids go and others, and so you can imagine the kind of politics that these kids come out of anyway. And he didn't know that at the time, but they're part of students' demand action. They're part of moms demand action. They're advocating for gun control. You think they're going to fairly and objectively and reasonably react to you showing them that you're carrying a gun? No, they're going to spin that in a way that makes you look bad, and that's exactly what they did. So it was a poor decision, no question, to show that he was carrying a gun. But the way it's been portrayed in the media is just completely outlandish, and that's why I'm glad he came on and had an opportunity to, react to it in his own words.
Guy Relford joining us. He is the host of the Gun Guy Show, a firearms instructor to a attorney. So, Guy, we're at about halftime here of the Indiana General Assembly. Take me through this Representative Fadi Kadura. We've talked about this guy a lot on this segment specifically. He's the representative at the Indiana General Assembly that wants to make Boss Hogsett's gun plan go through and become law for Marion County. Where are we at with that?
Yeah, and when you say halftime, you're exactly right. I mean, we have the deadline at the end of last week that if a bill was filed in the Senate and it needed to get a hearing and a vote and get out of the Senate and get sent over to the House before the end of last week, or it's dead, it's gone. And similarly, if it was filed in the House, same thing, through the House, sent over to the Senate. So we know what bills right now are still alive, and a whole bunch of bills are dead. And thankfully, this amendment to the preemption statute filed by Senator Fadi Kadura and it's Senate Bill 95 that would have allowed Boss Hogsett to do what currently Indiana state law prohibits him from doing, which is regulating firearms. And this bill would have allowed him, that is Joe Hogsett, to implement this, and it would allow Hogsett to, for instance, have an assault weapon ban in Marion County, to repeal constitutional carry in Marion County, to raise the minimum age to buy a firearm in all of Marion County to 21, where now you can buy a rifle or a shotgun at 18. And that one never got a hearing in the Senate courts and Criminal Code Committee, so it's dead. It's gone. Poof. And there are a whole bunch of other, and people don't realize the number of anti-gun bills filed every year that we have to go fight against. I mean, Senate Bill 24 raised the minimum age to 21 statewide. It was filed in the Senate. There's a bill about prohibiting firearms at polling places, even though I have no idea what problem they're trying to fix there. A bill to impose universal background checks. A bill to severely restrict the restoration of firearm rights after an expungement, and then safe storage bills where, oh no, you got somebody under 18 in your house and you've got a gun on your nightstand, you're a criminal. And all those, thankfully, that my group 2A project strenuously opposed, those are all dead. And thankfully, there's really only some pro 2A bills that are still alive and hopefully are going to proceed in the other house where they were from where they were filed originally.
Well, Guy, on behalf of our audience, I know there's an awful lot of law-abiding citizens who have purchased a firearm for home safety, or maybe they're just a enthusiast. They appreciate the hell out of what you do, not letting some of these lunatics try to do some paperwork and get over on people. So on behalf of our audience, thank you. And if somebody's got a question, how can they find you?
Best way to contact me through Twitter. It's at Guy Relford on Twitter. And thank you for those kind words, Jason. That means a lot to me and a big reason why I do what I do.
You're the best. Thank you, Guy.
Thanks, guys.
All right. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm really excited for this contest. We've got tickets to give away to see Barry Manilow. Pacer Sports and Entertainment, along with Outback, presents Barry Manilow, Gamebridge Fieldhouse, July 26th. I am a Barry Manilow fan.
You going to the show?
I don't know. Like, whoever caller number 9 is right now at 239-9393, if they need a wingman, I'm down. I'm totally down.
Okay.
But we got a fun little game we're going to play. So caller number 9, they get the opportunity to play the game. 239-9393.
So my sidewalk and front porch were completely falling apart at my house. They needed completely replaced, and I was just like a dummy going to go with the same basic, regular, generic concrete to replace it that looked the same before. But my wife told me to hit up indiedecorativeconcrete.com, their website. I was blown away on what they could do in terms of taking a basic sidewalk and porch and turning it into a custom stamped area concrete, more space, and an awesome, unique look. Indie Decorative Concrete's locally owned. They've been around since 2007. The owners' names are Mark and Jamie, and not only do they run a great custom concrete business, but they're great people. You know, Mark came out to my house, gave us a few design ideas, and then we went to the showroom, and Jamie helped us pick out the stamp pattern that we liked best. Really easy process, and they were done in 3 days. You need to get on the books now. If you got a project you're working on, patio, sidewalk, porch, whatever, get on the books. Might be able to work with you a little bit better on price because those spots are filling up. IndieDecorativeConcrete.com is the best in the business.
Monday on the Tony Kinnacast, public school accountability comes to Indiana, and we decide if Biden strikes in Iraq and Syria did any good. Tune in right here at 7 p.m. or the podcast anytime.
He's tough, and he knows what's worth fighting for. Mike Speedy. Mike Speedy built a family and a successful Indiana-based business. Like many of us, Mike is also no stranger to real-life challenges.
In 2020, I learned I had cancer. Within 2 weeks, I was having surgery. I got the initial all clear, and then I came back for a checkup, and they said, no, it had metastasized through your abdomen and your lymph nodes. I had another massive surgery and went through chemo. It was a difficult time, but I knew that it was God's plan because there was nothing we could do to change it.
By the grace of God, Mike Speedy beat cancer. Now Mike Speedy is ready to fight for us. Mike wants to join President Trump in securing the border and defeating the swamp and woke mob. Mike Speedy will always fight for life and liberty. Mike Speedy is the conservative with the toughness to win. Mike Speedy, conservative for Congress.
I'm Mike Speedy, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Speedy for Congress.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
My husband, Bob, has Parkinson's, and he needs more help now, and I need more support to help him. Thanks to Indiana Pathways for Aging, we're getting the support we need to help him right here at home, like with meal prep and basic personal care, and even respite support for me.
Pathways provides Hoosier Medicaid members, age 60 and over, support for care their way, so they can live life their way. The program begins in summer of 2024. Call 87-PATHWAY-4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. If you've been cold in your own home, and that happens a lot this time of year, do not suffer through one more day, one more winter in a cold and drafty home. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Universal Windows got that super spacer technology, helps keep the edge of the glass warmer, holds the window sill longer, and makes the windows last up to 5 times longer than other window systems. And listen to this deal. Schedule your free in-home estimate today, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. Yeah, that's right. Didn't stutter. Buy 2, get 2 free. What a deal. Plus a free upgrade to triple pane glass, and they'll double your energy tax credit. Restrictions apply. Oh, and get this. If you call today, you get an additional $250 off just by saying Rob Kendall told me to call. Yeah, $250 off just for mentioning my name. UniversalWindowsDirect.com. UniversalWindowsDirect.com. You'll be saying I love my windows.
Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Valentine's gift from Pierce Jewelers that will say, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel.
Oh, we have got a fun little game coming up for Barry Manilow tickets. But first, Matt Bear, what's going on?
Eastbound at 465, stop and go traffic, Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. Southbound 65 is slow, roll 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slow to downtown from west to Meridian, Illinois. And crash clear southbound 65 and Main Street. Traffic is gone also. Traffic sponsored by Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show. The Spring Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show offers free parking and $5 tickets at suburbanindieshows.com. February 9th through the 11th at Grand Park in Westfield. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, 51 degrees at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, and it's time to play Barry, Harry, or Terry.
And now, time to play Barry. Or Terry.
Hey, OJ, any stabbings at the family reunion?
Barry, Harry, or Terry on a Hammer and Nigel show.
You never succeed in this business until you've had the experience of working with a terrible hangover.
Jennifer was caller number 9. Jennifer, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. On the line, we've got tickets from Pacer Sports and Entertainment and Outback to see Barry Manilow, Gamebridge Fieldhouse, July 26th, the farewell tour. And this is how the game's going to work. I'm going to read you a statement. It will either be a statement about Barry Manilow, Cubs broadcaster Harry Carey, or WIBC's Terry Stacy. Get 2 out of 3. I'm going to give you the tickets, okay?
Okay.
Number 1. Would always laugh out loud when a hot chick in the bikini was shown on the broadcast that was sitting in the bleachers at Wrigley Field. Barry, Harry, or Terry?
I'm going to go with Harry.
Harry is correct. Number 2. Used to be the receptionist here at 93 WIBC. Barry, Harry, or Terry?
I'm going to go with Terry.
There we go. Easy enough.
You got the tickets. Stay on the line. Allison will get your info. Top stories next.
I'm U.S. Senate candidate John Rust, and I approve this message.
Hamas, Hezbollah. Terrorists are killing innocent women and children and threatening our country. And because of Jim Banks, they've just received another soldier. Jim Banks voted for the bill that allowed Hezbollah terrorist Mohammed Youssef Hammoud to be released from prison early. And he's now back in the Middle East. Hammoud even said he would finance Hezbollah again. Because of spineless Jim Banks, these dangerous criminals are being released every day. Jim Banks and the Washington establishment failed us. That's why we need to send conservative outsider John Rust to the U.S. Senate. Like President Trump, John Rust will always put America first, and he'll never cave to the establishment swamp. John Rust will be tough on crime and will make securing America his top priority. Send a true conservative to Washington. Vote John Rust for U.S. Senate. Paid for by John Rust for U.S. Senate.
Hey, it's Rob for the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew, or broken tiles, you got to call my friends at the Bath Authority. All Bath Authority products are 100% made in the USA and can be installed in as little as 1 day by certified factory technicians. Call today and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath. Yes, indeed, that number is correct. Call today and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. All Bath Authority projects come with a lifetime warranty, and they do it all, including walk-in tubs, replacement showers, tub-to-shower conversions, and more. Elevate your bathroom to a new level of luxury, style, and safety. Schedule that free in-home estimate today and get $1,000 off a new shower bath, plus that 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com, TheBathAuthority.com, TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
Guys, it's a new year. Low T Center can make it a great one if you've been feeling tired and grumpy, have noticed a lack of motivation and drive. You may have low T. Low testosterone levels can cause weight gain, loss of muscle mass, and so much more.
At the Low T Center, they make it quick and easy to get your levels checked, and it's only $25. And with their on-site lab, you're going to get results back in about 25 minutes. Go to lowtcenter.com right now to book your appointment online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The new year is here. Time for change. Start a recession-resistant new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI with My Computer Career in just months. Already in IT? Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers nationwide are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
Delight their senses with a Valentine's gift from Gillespie Florists. Choose gift ideas by clicking on GillespieFlorist.com. Gifts like box chocolates, plush animals, scented candles, balloons, and the best flower arrangements in Central Indiana. Roses, tulips, daisies, carnations, and more. Gillespie Florist will help you express your passion. Walk in and smell Gillespie's roses at 10th and Raceway Road. Call 273-1100 or click on GillespieFlorist.com. Gillespie Florist, for all the flowers in your life.
Coming up in 2 minutes, Victoria Spartz said she was bailing on politics, but her mind has been changed. what your governor was doing in the Lone Star State yesterday, and a man in Columbus was up to no good with a laser pointer Saturday night. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
The border crisis has never been worse. Lisa Brady, Fox News. That from Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell just a short time ago.
This is a humanitarian and security crisis of historic proportions.
He supports the efforts of bipartisan negotiators who unveiled a security package that includes border reforms, in addition to aid for Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan. But it's facing some bipartisan opposition, led by conservatives who argue it's watered down by a threshold in illegal crossings to trigger a mandatory shutdown.
This bill keeps the border wide open. There are so many loopholes in this bill, it'll make your head spin.
South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace. President Biden says the bill would be the toughest and fairest set of reforms in decades, urging support for it, while answering a few shouted questions during a stop in Las Vegas ahead of tomorrow's primary in Nevada, also reacting to the cancer diagnosis of King Charles.
The president says he is concerned about Britain's King Charles III.
Just heard his diagnosis, but I'll be talking to him, God willing.
Charles has been diagnosed with cancer and is beginning treatment, Buckingham Palace announced. It has not been disclosed what his cancer is, but it is not related to recent treatment for a prostate condition.
Fox's Jared Halpern, the 75-year-old king, is postponing public duties on doctor's orders. The Pentagon says it's still assessing results after Friday's U.S. strikes on Iran-linked targets in Iraq and Syria. Pentagon spokesman Major General Pat Ryder calling casualties likely. He also says there have been 2 attacks targeting U.S. troops in Syria since Friday. A U.S. defense official is reporting a 3rd attack blamed on Iran proxies. A sell-off on Wall Street. The Dow down 274 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Not retiring anymore. Mostly sunny and 50 degrees on Monument Circle. No rain to worry about on the radar. Temperatures dropped to the upper 20s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. She said she was out. Now she's back in.
Indiana Republican Congresswoman Victoria Spartz has decided to run for re-election. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Spartz says there are 2 reasons for her decision: addressing the national debt and addressing issues at the southern border.
And unfortunately, this is an issue that's destructive for our country, and unfortunately, we haven't been able to hold the ground as we should, the Republicans.
On WIBC's Tony Katz in the Morning News, the Ukrainian-born lawmaker first entered Congress in 2021. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott was accompanied by several Republican governors, including Indiana Governor Holcomb, during his visit to the southern border in Eagle Pass, Texas, Sunday.
Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3 of the United States Constitution, where a state can defend itself and its citizens to protect their safety from the imminent danger that we are facing.
Your governor, Eric Holcomb, has said he wants Biden to do a better job securing the southern border. One person was sent to the hospital after a car drove into a Greensburg gas station this morning. The Greensburg Fire Department has not said if the person hurt was driving the car or someone inside the store. How the car wound up obliterating the front entrance is still under investigation. State Representative Jim Lucas showed a gun at a group of young women advocating against gun violence at the State House last week, and it was caught on video. Lucas claims his conversation with the women was polite and constructive until he showed proof he was carrying.
Somewhere along the way, somebody has instilled into these young adults an absolute fear of somebody exercising a constitutional right that posed absolutely zero threat to them.
Lucas on WIBC's The Gun Guy. The average price you're paying for a gallon of gas in Indiana today, $2.88, says GasBuddy.com. That's below the national average of $3.12. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
I'm Darren Andrews from We Grow Hair India, and 18 years ago, I got my hair back.
I'm Rob, and 2 years ago, I got my hair back. Let this be your year to get your hair back and get your confidence back. Go to WeGrowHairIndy.com right now. We Grow Hair Indy has the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant. That was the procedure that was best for me. Their easy 30-minute PRP and laser treatments fit into any man or woman's schedule. Find out which procedure is right for you. Call 317-522-2995 for your free hair and scalp evaluation.
I'm Rick DeMolin, former professional football player. I got my hair back.
Hey, Barry Krause, #1 draft pick. I got my hair back.
Join me and thousands of others and get your hair back. Call 317-522-2995 or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com. That's 317-522-2995. This year, get your hair back. Get your confidence back.
The traffic on the 5s at 405. What's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison, northbound 37 now completely stopped. Epler Avenue to 465 because of construction. And eastbound 465 stop and go traffic. Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. Coming into downtown, southbound 65 slow roll off 21st to Meridian Penn. And eastbound 70 stop and go before west to Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Guys, solve your ED today with an intimacy guarantee only at the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. If you don't perform, you don't pay. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic at 999-9000. That's 999-9000. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies remain overnight. Low temperatures in the upper 20s. Tomorrow, back to mostly cloudy skies. High temperatures in the upper 40s. On Wish TV, Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
I mean, I knew this was coming, Hammer. We all knew it. The suspect that we were talking about on Friday in this show was arrested for beating a stranger with a 2x4. A stranger still in the hospital. He is out in Fountain Square taking his dogs out to use the bathroom. Somebody just comes up to him and bashes the crap out of this guy with a 2x4. Suspect's in jail. Apparently, he's been arrested 27 times since 2020.
27 times since 2020. 17 criminal charges filed against this guy. And in most cases, he only spent just a few days in jail. When we talk about the revolving door of the justice system in Marion County, I know a lot of you probably get tired of hearing about it, but that's what people like Ryan Mears and Boss Hogsett hope, that you get tired of hearing about it and people stop talking about it. Well, I refuse to do that because this is absolutely unacceptable. 27 arrests since 2020. We're not talking about 27 arrests, in 27 years. No, 27 arrests since 2020, 17 criminal charges filed, and a slap on the wrist every single time. Like, what's the cutoff here? Like, how many times does this guy have to be arrested before he is locked up in Marion County? This is so disgusting, and this is on Ryan Mears.
Yeah, that's indicative of the prosecutor's office.
100%.
I mean, literally had blood on their hands in some cases with these habitual violent offenders getting in and out and then going to do more harm to
But
victims.
I'm sure Ryan Mears and Boss Hogsett still find the good in this guy. We got to get down to the root cause of this guy. Yeah, I know he's been arrested 27 times since 2020, but we got to figure out the root cause. There's good in this guy. I know there is. That is so ridiculous.
Sick of it.
And if I'm the family of this guy, I'm sorry, I want some answers from Marion County's justice system. I want Ryan Mears, I want Joe Hogsett to talk about why this lunatic was able to be out in the streets. And we're hearing a lot of other stories of how this guy would harass people, chase people, be a pain in the ass to people, but yet can't lock him up, can't do that. So disgusting. Like Terry Curry, the previous prosecutor who passed away, he was a Democrat, but I feel like he did a fair job. He did his job. He was there to take away your political leanings and lock away bad guys. Sometimes you would disagree with him. I get it. That's part of the gig. But for the most part, Terry Curry was fair, and he did a good job. Now you've got an activist as a prosecutor who, by the way, he doesn't even want to be prosecutor. He wants to be the mayor one day. And because Indianapolis keeps voting for the same ridiculous garbage time after time, hell, he might be the mayor.
And there's no recourse for the victim either. There really isn't. What is he going to do? Sue this lunatic who probably doesn't have a pot to pee in or a window to throw it out of?
Right.
Probably living on the street somewhere. Is he going to? I mean, he can't sue the prosecutor's office, I don't think. Or if he did, I'm sure it'd be thrown out.
I mean, this story frustrates
dereliction
me.
of duty for a prosecutor 27 times since 2020. Should have been in jail, man.
I live in Marion County. I live in Indianapolis. This is where my family's at. This is where members of my family are buried at. This is where they're going to put me in the ground one day. I'm not going anywhere. People always ask me, you complain about Marion County a lot. Why don't you leave? Why should I leave? These guys are the ones that suck. It's just frustrating that 60% of the vote thinks this is fine. 60% of people in Marion County who probably don't do 1 ounce of research think this is okay. And they're going to keep just going to the polls like sheep, voting for that Democrat because that's what they've always done until it happens to them one day. Because I'm telling you, crime doesn't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. Crime in Marion County knows when you're weak. And the justice system right now in Marion County is weak. This is so disgusting. I feel for this guy.
I got to tell you, one of the only positive things I've found here in the past few weeks, the beginning of January into December, some of the violence that's happened, I'm noticing more and more people cooperating with the police in terms of being a witness. I'm hearing those stories. You know, it used to be some of these people would be very scared that these offenders, they know they'd get right back out on the street and come after them if they had details for the police.
Snitches get stitches.
Yes, exactly. That's the old saying. It just seems like to me, I don't know how to quantify that. I don't know if that's a real thing, but it just seems like I'm hearing more and more stories when you hear victims or violent incidents, other people, citizens, innocent bystanders cooperating with police and telling them what they know. And as a result of those conversations, the criminals have been arrested.
It drives me nuts, though, when you hear the mayor, Joe Hogsett, and the prosecutor, Ryan Mears, talking about, well, there are so many guns in Marion County. Well, why do you think that is? On one hand, you keep letting out habitual offenders, many of them violent repeat offenders. Are you shocked when they do something with a weapon? And on the other hand, you've got law-abiding citizens who now feel compelled to go out and purchase their first ever firearm because they don't trust what's happening in this city. And if you look at what happened in January, there were a number of homicides that were considered justifiable homicides, where people were defending themselves or their homes, taking matters into their own hands. And listen, I'm not calling for vigilante justice here, but I understand it. Like if somebody breaks into your house, you don't know what their intent is. And we're seeing that more and more, where homeowners who are armed are taking the law into their own hands because they're not going to get any help whatsoever from the big gangly dork that wears the Jordans that wants to play basketball, or Boss Hogsett who couldn't get a job anywhere else, and that's why he ran for a third term here in Indianapolis. That's the real reality. And I saw this in the IBJ today. This struck me as interesting because this could go a number of ways. Commercial real estate brokers are busy filling vacant retail spaces with corporate parties and events ahead of the NBA All-Star Game coming here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, commercial real estate. Eek.
So what do we make of this here? On one hand, it's sad that there are so many vacant retail opportunities, especially downtown. You know, crime and poor city leadership has led to that. But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, I know what this city does when there's a big event coming to town. What are the chances the city leaders are trying to hide some of the homeless in these, quote, vacant spaces? And they're saying that, well, that's where events are happening at. Could be one of two things right there. I'm not sure, but I'm a little uncomfortable with both, to be honest with you.
They've been known to move the homeless population to hotels when there's big events in town. All of a sudden, the NCAA tournament, the entire tournament comes to town. Circle got cleaned up real quick. That little encampment over there at Hilbert Circle Theater or wherever that is, that disappeared within a day.
Right. And with the NBA All-Star Game coming here in just a couple of weeks, now, according to the IBJ, commercial real estate brokers are filling vacant retail spaces, and they're going to be hosting events and parties. Okay, that's what we're being told, but just keep an eye on that story. We mentioned it earlier. There are two significant dates today going on. One of them we've already talked about. I care not to talk about it again. It's National Pass Gas Day, okay?
It's a real thing.
Since 2008.
I didn't believe you, but yes, people have been... Can you recall what Pass Gas Day is? Just so people... There's an explanation for it. Here it is. National Fart Day has been observed on February 5th since 2008 as the day to stop suppressing accumulated gas and just relax.
I don't know why they picked this date, but here it is. It's a real thing.
Whether you're in an elevator, whether you're in a close office setting with cubicles, don't hold back.
No, let it fly.
Let it flow.
It's also National Weather Person's Day, and this is going to take us into great moments in weatherman history.
Okay.
Listen here. This was during a big storm in Dayton, Ohio, and people were complaining to the TV station, hey, how come you're taking off my favorite shows to bring us this tornado coverage? And the weatherman had had enough.
So, Rainey, I was just checking social media. We have viewers complaining already. Just go back to the show. No, we're not going back to the show, folks. This is a dangerous situation, okay? It's nice, right? Think about this was your neighborhood. I'm sick and tired of people complaining about this. Our job here is to keep people safe, and that is what we're going to do. Some of you complain that this is all about my ego. Stop. Okay, just stop right now. It's not. I'm done with you people. I really am. This is pathetic. Dangerous situation here. All right, I'm sorry I did that. It just really bothers me that we have people that don't care about other people's safety around here. That's just ridiculous.
Sounds like my rant against Ryan Mears. Like it's almost word for word. Great moments in weatherman history. Here's a clip that kind of encompasses both of these special dates on the calendar that we've talked about. There's a Kentucky weatherman. It's down there in the southwestern part of Kentucky, not too far from Indiana, and he's desperately trying to hold in a fart.
Well, you'll notice we've already gotten 30s in Evansville where the transition has occurred, and it's 42 in Bedford. I just want to show you how cold this air is. It's 8 in Des Moines, Iowa.
He was trying. Bless his heart, he was trying. And one of our favorites, Marcus Bailey, a meteorologist for Wish TV 8.
Oh, this is a local great moments in weatherman history.
Phil Sanchez was talking about a story about an exploding toilet. And Marcus Bailey found that to the point to where he couldn't even talk. He was laughing so hard.
Lightning hit the methane gas that was built up in the septic tank, causing a bomb-like effect. Ford says she's just grateful no one was on the toilet at the time. I knew Marcus was really going to like this story.
Because of toilet humor.
Toilet humor, right. Toilet exploding.
I mean, look,
Done, Phil. Not funny. That's serious stuff, right?
Yes,
that's
of
serious
course.
stuff.
Very dangerous. No one was injured, though.
But
so
you're
that's
still
a good
crying
thing.
from laughing.
Bomb-like effect, Marcus. Bomb-like.
I can't keep it together. I
Great
love it.
moments in weatherman history. All right, Matt Bear.
Northbound 37 stop, Templar to 465. Southbound 65 is stop and go. 21st to Meridian Penn. Up on the northeast side, eastbound 465 slow before Keystone over to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Shop Grand Appliance for unbeatable prices, fast delivery, expert installation on a huge selection of in-stock appliances. Learn more at grandappliance.com or your local showroom. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, we've got sunshine, 51 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, and we're going to play a fun round of Is This Anything next.
Weather in Indiana. It's a couple of weeks. We go from Arctic sub-zero degrees to temperatures above freezing with buckets of rain. And you know what? That means potholes, ladies and gentlemen. I get off on West Street every day coming downtown to work. They're all over the place. It's one of the reasons why I'm a AAA member. For the peace of mind of their roadside assistance, flat tires, dead batteries, AAA is there 24/7, 365 days a year.
And if you need new tires, AAA's got you covered with their mobile tire service, My Pit Crew. They bring the tire shop to you. I know this because I've used this service. Had a flat tire at home, called My Pit Crew, and they came to my house. All you have to do is visit mypitcrew.com, pick out your tires, and schedule the installation. And AAA members get a discount on My Pit Crew tire installation. So do yourself a favor and join AAA today. Visit AAA.com or call 844-GO-AAA-GO or stop by your local AAA office.
Hey, Fed rate cut plans have reduced mortgage rates more than a full point. So if you have been waiting to sell, now is the time. You can max your home sale price with the only agent and team I recommend. That's Mark Dietel. Maybe you're a growing family and you need more space, kind of like Andy and Kim in Fortville. They have an 8-month-old. Time to add more space. Heard about Mark Dietel on the radio. Hired him right away. The house is under contract in 48 hours, and Mark found him a bigger place, too.
Mark Dietel is the only real estate expert we trust and recommend here on the Hammer and Nigel show. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts, no required repairs. Contact Mark Dietel today, 317-755-4232, or go to markdietel.com. Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Barry Manilow.
Looks like we made it.
The last Indianapolis concert. Barry Manilow. See him performing all the hits for one night only. Barry Manilow at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, Friday, July 26th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Discovery, innovation, progress. It all starts right here at IU Indianapolis. We're making cutting-edge discoveries in science, technology, and healthcare. We're investing in Indiana's future with degrees that make a difference. We're partnering with local businesses to drive our city forward. And we're just getting started. See where we're going at indianapolis.iu.edu/start.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
When life happens, Michelis happens to help you through it. That includes water, storms, fire, and the whole insurance mess. Working hand in hand with the claims adjuster, Michelis is your advocate, your voice, your local trusted advisor for cleaning up, building back, and moving forward when disaster strikes. Now that is an insurance policy. Make it Michelis. Call 844-FIX-INDY.
The financial advisor industry is a flawed system. Find out how to fight back and protect your retirement on Expedition Retirement. Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBC.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Yeah, Hammer, how do we play? Is this anything?
I am going to run some stories by you. You will be the one that breaks down all the information and gives us a verdict. Is the story anything or not?
Alrighty.
Is this anything? February, of course, Black History Month, but Target has already had to yank a product that was meant to celebrate it. A book of magnets for kids included different civil rights leaders, but a teacher noticed that the names were incorrect and posted this video on social media.
So I went to get my kids this little magnet learning activity since Black History coming up from Target. I don't know who's in charge of Target, but these need to be pulled off the shelves like immediately. So I teach U.S. history, I study history, got my major in social studies, and I noticed some discrepancies like as soon as I opened this. For starters, this is not Carter G. Woodson. They got the name wrong. This is not W.E.B. Du Bois. And then this is not Booker T. Washington. This is Carter Woodson. I get it, mistakes happen, but this needs to be corrected ASAP.
Yeah, this is something. It's kind of funny because Target, like a very woke corporation, just hasn't had a very good run the past year, have they? The past 12 to 15 months, whether it be the tuck-friendly swimsuits for kids, the prominently displaying Gay Pride Month in the kids' clothing areas, closing 9 stores in major Democrat-led cities because of crime and their employees not feeling safe. This is certainly something that Target said they've stopped selling them. They're also notified the manufacturer, but add this to the list of embarrassments for that place.
And I guarantee you, it was some woke progressive white dude that was probably in charge of making this product to get it to Target. Like, woke white dudes have been screwing things up for a long time. And Target, man, you're right. They've been taking L after L.
They closed down stores in Harlem, New York, Seattle, Portland, Hollywood, San Francisco, Oakland, and Pittsburgh, California.
Damn.
All because of, really, what do all those cities I mentioned have in common?
High crime and Democrat leadership.
Okay, we can move on.
Is this anything? A deer crashed through the window of a Texas woman's home and spent 24 hours inside of her house just destroying the place.
Just hanging out?
Just going wild. Here is the homeowner, Courtney, talking about finding her home trashed by the deer.
I opened the door and just about 15 feet in front of me was a deer just staring at me, and we just stared at each other for probably 15, 30 seconds because I had no idea how to even process the fact that there was a deer standing in my kitchen. All my belongings were spread out everywhere. He managed to turn on the sink and so all of my belongings got wiped off the counter into the sink, and the water was running over them. He managed to also turn on my hairdryer. I almost felt like maybe I need to go play the lottery because what are the odds that, that would even happen?
Yeah, that's something. I'm looking at footage now, and literally it's her and the deer. When she walked in, they have a standoff. It's like you have a blinking contest with your kids sometimes.
Right.
The lady and the deer just standing there in her kitchen. He's just looking at her. What are you going to do? Man, her place is destroyed. All the deer poop and stuff all over the place. Yeah.
Serious question here. Who would destroy this woman's house more? This deer, or if Hunter Biden had a party? Like, you got 24 hours of chaos. What would be a more chaotic scene inside the house? I think it requires that we do great moments in deers crashing into homes history here, right?
Of course.
I feel like we have to here. This was when the deer crashed through the window of a hair salon.
Oh.
Oh my God, you okay? You okay? Close the door back there.
Oh, again. Idiot animals.
This is the deer crashing through the window of a nursing home.
Oh my God. Don't. There's a deer in here. Oh, he's out. He's out. Look out.
I look how they had to point out the fact, can't you see there's a deer in here?
And I'm telling you, it sounded perfect. The way that deer went through the window, it sounded like the intro to Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Don't. There's a deer in here. Oh, he's out. He's out. Look out. He's out.
Yes.
My God, there's a deer in here. Business is about to pick up. The Hammer and Nigel Show.
If you're sick and tired of the aches and pains in your joints and you dread the idea of surgery, you need to call QC Kinetics today. Tony Katz here. The state of healthcare is always changing. Old ideas like steroids and surgery are no longer your only options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative, non-surgical, drug-free treatments that deliver lasting results. So if you have pain in your knee, your back, your shoulder, right? It's from arthritis or an injury. You got the injury at work. You got the injury playing pickleball. You don't have to let this pain keep you from living your best life. QC Kinetics, the revolutionary approach that can get you long-term relief with no downtime. That's right, no downtime from work, no downtime from your family, no drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics today to get your free consultation. You can even visit on Saturdays. Make 2024 the year you reclaim your mobility. QC Kinetics is in Eagle Creek, Greenwood, and Carmel. Call 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN. QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN.
Chuck loves the word grit, and I think he saw that in his father because his dad worked very hard.
Dorn Goodrich on family and her son, Chuck Goodrich.
We struggled. We had 4 children. We both worked, but we always paid our bills.
Chuck Goodrich was raised in a working-class home focused on faith, sacrifice, and a strong work ethic. As a young man, Chuck Goodrich worked at a gas station and a pizza shop. To pay his way through Purdue, Chuck worked at a campground, living in a tent one summer to save more money.
I said, but son, where are you going to live? He said, well, I got a tent, and I'm going to stay in that tent. He was willing to do whatever it took.
Now, Chuck Goodrich's sacrifice, grit, and relentless work ethic have paid off. Goodrich employs 2,000 people at Gaylor Electric.
He wants people to succeed because God gave him a heart for people.
Chuck Goodrich, conservative leader, Hoosier Heart.
I'm Chuck Goodrich, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Go with Chuck Goodrich Committee.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first. And then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Indiana's governor in Texas, 50 degrees, mostly sunny over Monument Circle. Nothing on your radar. Low of 28 expected tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:31. Your governor was at the southern border Sunday. Ryan Hedrick explains why he made the trip.
In short, Holcomb believes that Texas's problem with migrants will become Indiana's problem. Texas Governor Greg Abbott hosted the press conference with Holcomb in the background. Abbott says,
the president is obligated by laws passed by Congress to actually secure the border and deny illegal entry. Texas has shown that we can reduce it to 3 people crossing across the border.
Holcomb later posted on X that every state deserves a secure southern border. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
King Charles III has been diagnosed with a form of cancer. The announcement made by the Buckingham Palace this afternoon.
Concerned about him. Just heard his diagnosis, but I'll be talking to him, God willing.
President Biden in Las Vegas today. What kind of cancer King Charles has not been confirmed, but he is undergoing treatment. House Republican leaders say the bipartisan immigration deal probably won't go far. Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
Considering a Senate immigration proposal is a waste of time, House Republican leaders say, calling on senators to reject legislation that would give border shutdown authority to President Biden and toughen asylum thresholds.
I just don't believe that the Senate bill, as I've explained in all of our statements, meets the criteria that's necessary to solve the problem. That is what we are about here.
House Speaker Mike Johnson is endorsing a Republican-backed bill restoring many Trump-era border policies and restarting construction of border barriers. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Indiana Republican Congresswoman Victoria Spartz has decided to run for re-election. Spartz says there are 2 reasons behind her decision to flip on retiring, addressing the national debt and issues related to the border.
And unfortunately, this is an issue so destructive for our country, and unfortunately, we haven't been able to hold the ground as we should, the Republicans.
Talking with WIBC's Tony Katz. Stocks closing on your Monday. The Dow fell by 274 to 38,380. The Nasdaq down by 31, finishing at 15,597. And the S&P 500 slipping by 15 to 4,942. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:33.
Has the holiday season left you overwhelmed, stressed out, and overweight? Do you feel frustrated when you think about what you need to do to be healthy and feel better? You deserve a simple approach to a stronger, healthier, and more enjoyable life. Exercise Inc. has been helping people in Central Indiana reach their health and fitness goals for 20 years. The approach is simple. Strength train with a certified coach once a week for 20 minutes. Adopt the 9 simple habits you need to follow to change your health and lose weight. Then get out there and enjoy life because you'll be stronger and have more energy and you're going to feel better and you'll lose weight and you'll probably even look better too. And you may even be able to get off of some of those prescription medications. Exercise Inc., Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood, Zionsville, and now in Fishers. The studios are private, no mirrors, no music, and no spandex. Just you and a professional coach working to reach your goals for the new year. Go to exerciseinc.com today to sign up for a free consultation.
Let's make that traffic at 4:35. Here's Matt Bear.
Let's do a Harrison looking at southbound 65 stop and go traffic 21st to Meridian Penn. Now we have a crash. It is eastbound 70 near Meridian, Illinois. It's over on the left shoulder. Traffic stop and go back to Harding Street. And then on the south side, northbound 37 jams at Epler because of construction. Eastbound 465 slow off the White River. Traffic sponsored by Suburban Indy Home and Outdoor Living Show. The Spring Suburban Indy Home and Outdoor Living Show offers free parking and $5 tickets at suburbanindyshows.com. February 9th through the 11th at Grand Park in Westfield. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies remain overnight. Low temperatures in the upper 20s. Tomorrow, back to mostly cloudy skies. High temperatures in the upper 40s. On Wish TV, Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Our country's a mess. Our borders are open and insecure because we have somebody that is not doing his job properly. He's not respected. He's laughed at all over the world.
Former President Donald Trump with Maria Bartiromo of Fox Business. Pretty good interview over the weekend.
Yeah, she didn't give a softball interview to him. She was tough on him at times, and Trump actually sat down and answered questions without freaking out, getting angry, accusing her of being nasty, anything like that. Now, Maria is somebody I think that supports Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But to her credit, she did ask some pretty tough questions. Mainly, what are the priorities for Donald Trump?
What I'm saying is that we're going to immediately baby drill. We're going to get energy down. And the other thing is we're going to have a strong border. We're going to close up the border because no country is sustainable. When you look at what's happening to our country with people from jails and prisons, people from mental institutions and insane asylums coming in, our country is being destroyed.
So energy dependence, energy independence, and closing down the border. Those are the two things that sounds like Donald Trump's going to hitch his wagon to here. And if you can lower people's gas right now, I think they'd be okay with that.
I don't think that was a tough question for Maria. I mean, she starts talking about the legal issues, though, right?
Yeah, she got into his legal stuff here, and, Trump addressed it.
If I didn't run or if I was in 5th place, I wouldn't have any indictments. I wouldn't have any problem. They went after me from before I even announced because they said we have to do it. These aren't indictments. These are Biden indictments.
How are you going to get through?
Washington, D.C. I just get through things, whatever it is. I'm doing this for the country. I didn't need this. I could have had the greatest life. Look at this. I could have had a nice time instead of doing a nice, fair, but tough interview with you. I could have had a very nice time in my life. I could have enjoyed it. But I enjoy it anyway because we're going to make America great again. This country is failing. This nation is failing, and it's incompetent people like Biden. Who wants open borders? Who wants high interest rates? Who wants bad education? Who wants all of this stuff? Who wants a woke military? Our country's going to hell, and it's an honor for me. I really say, anytime I get indicted, it's an honor because I'm doing it for you.
And his poll numbers just keep skyrocketing as well.
Right.
I often wondered how he would navigate and maneuver through a presidential campaign with all the indictments and felonies and things like that. And the thing is, he's right. He's doing it now. Yeah, that's all there is to it. He would show up to some frivolous civil trial in New York and then get on a plane and go to a rally.
Right. And what's happening in Georgia, Lord knows what's going to happen there, because it looks like the case may be falling apart because Big Fat Fanny hired a big fat lover
Fanny
with taxpayer money, and that whole thing is a mess. A little bit more from Trump in his interview with Maria Bartiromo. Take a listen to this. This isn't a real ringing endorsement to Ronna McDaniel, the head of the RNC.
You talk about this optimism ahead that we could see some relief, but the RNC doesn't seem to be so strong. I mean, the Democrats have all the money. Look at what we see. We've got the Democrats actually with the money and spending it. The RNC seeking credit lines. The RNC reported its lowest bank balance at the point in any year in 2016. Comerica says the Michigan GOP defaulted on a loan of $500,000.
So I have a lot of money, and the money that they get, people are not looking at the RNC. They want changes. You have to understand, I have nothing to do with the RNC. I'm separate.
How's Ronna McDaniel doing?
I think she did great when she ran Michigan for me. I think she did okay initially in the RNC. I would say right now there'll probably be some changes made.
How's Ronna McDaniel doing?
Never good when you get a grunt out first.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's definitely been some winnable elections over the past few years that Republicans have lost, and mostly due to bad candidates. I mean, Dr. Oz, are you kidding me? That's who you're propping up there? That's who you're platforming?
Right. Now, Donald Trump had a big part in pushing Dr. Oz through there. That was kind of his guy.
Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah, he endorsed it, but Trump is the one that hired Ronna McDaniel.
Right.
When she was running things in Michigan, he put her in the head of the RNC.
Is there ever a situation where, like, if you grunt an answer, it's good news? Like, if I asked you, Nigel, how was your doctor's report? And you go, that's not good.
That's never good, I don't think.
Hey, if you ask one of your kids, hey, how was your report card? I mean, that's never good news either. Like most things.
Hey, boss, do you think I'll have a job at the end of the week?
It's never good for most things if you get a grunt in response to a question. New poll out from NBC shows Donald Trump up 47% to 42%.
Let's just start with the bottom line. When you ask folks, hey, if it's the general election and it's Trump versus Biden, in our poll, Donald Trump now leads Joe Biden by 5 points. Compare that to the last time we polled. Back in November, Trump was ahead then, but it was only by 2 points. And it's even more significant when you look at it this way. Over time, we have been testing for 5 years now, going back to 2019, a Biden-Trump matchup. Remember, 2019, 2020, Joe Biden led. He led big in every single one of our polls. For the first time in November, Donald Trump polled ahead in our poll, and now at 5 points, this is the biggest lead NBC has ever had in 16 polls for Donald Trump over Joe Biden. And, of course, undergirding all of this is this question of he is the incumbent, Joe Biden. We ask voters, what do you think of the job he's doing? And look at that, Kristen, 37% approve and now 60% disapprove.
But here's the thing, and I've said this before, and I've said it when it was on the Democrat side, and I'll say it here because it favors Donald Trump. National polling does not matter.
You get on Real Clear Politics. That's a website that kind of aggregates all the polls throughout the entire country, and you see Donald Trump an obvious front runner.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you're right, national polling. But when you add up all the polls together that have been taken, that's what Real Clear Politics does. Interesting website. Donald Trump is the front runner in the general.
I only want to see polls from a certain few states. I want to see Georgia. I want to see Pennsylvania. I want to see Michigan. I want to see Wisconsin. I want to see Arizona.
Why? Are those
swing states? I want to see the swing state polls. Maybe even Nevada. Nevada's still blue, but it's getting closer and closer to being up for grabs. National polling to me does nothing. I want to see the state polls because that's how we pick the president of the United States. Speaking of NBC and MSNBC, I think this was a backfire on their behalf. So they sent one of their reporters to this predominantly black barber shop to get their thoughts on Donald Trump against Joe Biden and whether or not it's true that a lot of members of the black community are starting to flip and vote for Donald Trump. Now, MSNBC would only send a reporter there if they thought that group was going to rip on Donald Trump.
Of course.
Take a listen to what happened.
There's some people in your orbit who are either voting for Donald Trump or considering it?
For sure. A lot of my friends are obviously my age, so we're a little younger. We've only voted once, for a president. And Trump is kind of all we know. And they're kind of Trump and Biden. They're like, well, we were broke with Biden. We weren't with Trump. And that's kind of the only thing that I'm hearing over and over again is that, well, Trump, we had money.
Yeah, I mean, Trump averaging 20 to 30% with African-American voters and even bigger numbers for Hispanic voters.
Now, that doesn't sound like a big number, but when you consider what the Republicans usually get with that demographic, it's a really big number. And he's right. Like, it doesn't matter if you're white, black, Hispanic, or whatever.
Messing with the paycheck.
Right.
Yeah.
People are broke these days under Joe Biden. You may have heard in the news, top of the hour, a little bit earlier, King Charles of Britain has been diagnosed with cancer. He has started receiving his treatment. The news from Buckingham Palace came out on the heels of Charles going in to get a prostate surgery procedure.
Didn't he just have a prostate thing?
Yeah. The palace says the cancer is not related to the king's recent treatment for prostate conditions, but they're not saying exactly what the cancer is. So if you're somebody that gets into the royal family and follows that kind of stuff, keep an eye on that story. You got an interesting text message today.
Let me see if I can find it here. Lindsay forwarded me.
Your beautiful wife.
Yeah, my wife forwarded me a text message from one of her friends in the neighborhood, and they have, kids that go to school with our kids and stuff. I think she's aware of what I do, but I don't think they listen to the show or anything like that.
Awesome.
But she
Tell them thanks.
But I think part of her job involves traveling the state of Indiana. I'm not sure what she does. So she texted Lindsay this. Tell Nigel he has loyal fans at the Crawfordsville Jiffy Lube.
Okay.
They had 93.1 playing in the Bay. The auto mechanics were going back and forth about a disdain for Rob Kendall. And they think that Hammer and Nigel is where it's at because of gun talk and beer Fridays.
Yeah. I like everything about that message.
We've got to send the Crawfordsville Jiffy Lube guys some I Hate Rob Kendall t-shirts.
Absolutely. Crawfordsville Jiffy Lube, store.hammerandnigel.com. You can purchase your I Hate Rob Kendall t-shirts right now.
The auto mechanics were going back and forth about their disdain for Rob Kendall. And then she, in parentheses, and this is how I know she doesn't really listen to the station. She just, in parentheses, she put question mark. Like she doesn't know who Rob Kendall is.
To me, that's the
those guys
trifecta.
do.
They like us for Guy, they like us for Beer Sample Friday, and they hate Rob Kendall. Like, that's the trifecta right there. We're big winners here. Who are the winners? We're the winners. Thank you, Jiffy Lube. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Guys, it's a new year. Low T Center can make it a great one. And if you've been feeling tired, if you've been feeling grumpy, notice maybe a lack of motivation and drive, you got some weight gain going on, loss of muscle mass, these could all be signs of low testosterone levels. Now, at Low T Center, they make it quick and easy to get your levels checked. Just a simple blood test and their on-site lab. You'll have your results back in about 25 minutes.
Low T Center is not your typical doctor's office. It's concierge medicine for dudes. It's for guys. And they specialize in treating low testosterone, but they do so much more. They can screen you for some cancers. They can check you out for sleep apnea. They do so much for guys, and right now, they've got self-inject, physician-monitored treatments that ship directly to your home. Go to lowtcenter.com. Make that appointment today. LowTCenter.com. It's only $25 to get your T level tested. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Dog parents are loving Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend Premium Dog Food.
The way she acts and the way she moves, it's just so much better. And she's like a puppy again. It's unbelievable.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a freeze-dried raw food made with 0 artificial preservatives, so it's naturally shelf-stable with no mess, freezer, or fridge required. Plus, it's full of premium turkey, beef, salmon, and meat your dog will love.
We started with Nature's Blend. She's happy, she sleeps well, she's energetic. I am just delighted with this product.
When given the choice, Nature's Blend and Amazon's #1 bestseller in dry dog food, 29 out of 30 dogs chose Nature's Blend first.
I'm so confident your dog will love it. Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee.
Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of delicious beef liver treats. Go to drmartypets.com/beef or text BEEF to 511-511. Text BEEF to 511-511. All pets are unique. Your pet's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply. Studies available upon request.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, and in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
When life happens, Michelis happens to help you through it. That includes water, storms, fire, and the whole insurance mess. Working hand in hand with the claims adjuster, Michelis is your advocate, your voice, your local trusted advisor for cleaning up, building back, and moving forward when disaster strikes. Now that is an insurance policy. Make it Michelis. Call 844-FIX-INDY.
I just wish Mom could hear better on the phone.
Dad gets so upset with me when I call. I wish it were different.
The CapTel Caption phone from Relay Indiana allows you to speak into the phone, and your words appear on a bright, easy-to-read screen. Conversations occur naturally with added clarity.
I used to love our phone chats. I wish it was like before.
Now it can be with the CapTel Caption phone. Go to RelayIndiana.com and call 334-1413 today.
Still thinking about what to get her for Valentine's Day? Make that special occasion last forever and surprise her with a gift from Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Matt Baer, what's going on?
All right, Hammer, be careful leaving downtown. Just talked to Metro Dispatch listening to the scatter here. Delaware Street is closed at St. Clair Street because of activity, with emergency crews still working on the cause and the reason, but we cannot use Delaware past St. Clair right now. We will need a reroute, and those possibilities are College Avenue. At least that's one. Remember, that's two-way now in the area around St. Clair, so that's a little tricky if it's your first time through. Southbound 65 stop-and-go traffic, 29th at 2 Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 crash clear at Meridian, Illinois, and slow back to Harding. Traffic sponsored by Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show. The Spring Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show offers free parking and $5 tickets at suburbanindieshows.com February 9th through 11th at Grand Park in Westfield. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Sorry, I was almost late throwing it to traffic with Matt there because I was talking to Allison off the air about a gentleman that I refer to as bucket-headed man baby. So my apologies. 52, Nigel knows who it is. At the American Standard Heating Weather Center, let's do some legal stuff. Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
Well, it's officially Super Bowl week. What is it you were saying about Patrick Mahomes' dad? Patrick Mahomes, of course, quarterback, Super Bowl champion, and a quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. Probably doesn't need a lot of distractions this week. This is being Super Bowl week with all the media attention that he's getting. I mean, and you were saying something about his dad.
His whole inner circle, right? Because all the attention goes to Taylor Swift, and she's sitting in the suite. And my whole thing from the very beginning was don't let Taylor Swift distract you from the fact that the inner circle around Patrick Mahomes is an absolute circus. Patrick Mahomes' wife, Brittany, thinks she's a bigger star than Taylor Swift does. She can't wait to get her mug and the pictures with Taylor, and she's always putting ridiculous things on social media.
Yeah, I was going to say criticizing officials and stuff like that.
Right.
Shut up.
And then you've got his idiot brother, Jackson Mahomes, who's gotten into trouble time after time, had a little sexual assault scandal going on for a little while there. And then the old man, Pat Mahomes. He was a baseball player back in the day. He pitched on the Cubs. And I've always said, this dude is not father of the year either. A lot of rumors about infidelity. He wasn't always around when Patrick needed, his old man to be there. And just this past weekend, he picked up his third DUI.
Oh!
Number 3.
Number 3, the trifecta.
So, I'm telling you, don't let Taylor Swift distract you from the fact that the inner circle around Patrick Mahomes is a zoo, and it tells you how good of a player he really is, that he can still perform, win big games with all that drama going on.
I mean, is this a distraction for Patrick Mahomes? Patrick Mahomes coming into Super Bowl weekend. Pretty big game.
Not ideal. I mean, if you ask Patrick Mahomes, it's like, hey, would you prefer your dad get a DUI or not get a DUI? I'm pretty sure he'd say not get a DUI. Number 3, mind you. Coming up here in just a little bit, speaking of the Super Bowl, it's been kind of a tradition over the years that the President of the United States sits down with a member of the media, whichever network is hosting the Super Bowl, and they have an interview.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't have to be a long one, 3 to 5 minutes. Well, we have an update. Is Joe Biden going to do a Super Bowl interview? We will talk about that when we come back.
Denise has been playing jazz for 40 years. Last concert, one of the musicians fell sick with RSV. Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a highly contagious virus that can lead to breathing problems. This time, she's choosing to help protect herself with Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo. Abrysvo is a vaccine for the prevention of lower respiratory tract disease caused by respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, in adults 60 years of age and older. Abrysvo is not for everyone and may not protect all who receive the vaccine. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its ingredients. People with a weakened immune system may have a decreased response to Abrysvo. The most common side effects are tiredness, headache, pain at the injection site, and muscle pain. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, respiratory syncytial virus vaccine. For full prescribing information, please call 1-844-989-7284 or visit abrysvo.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
He's tough, and he knows what's worth fighting for. Mike Speedy. Mike Speedy built a family and a successful Indiana-based business. Like many of us, Mike is also no stranger to real-life challenges.
In 2020, I learned I had cancer. Within 2 weeks, I was having surgery. I got the initial all clear, and then I came back for a checkup, and they said, no, it had metastasized through your abdomen and your lymph nodes. I had another massive surgery and went through chemo. It was a difficult time, but I knew that it was God's plan because there was nothing we could do to change it.
By the grace of God, Mike Speedy beat cancer. Now Mike Speedy is ready to fight for us. Mike wants to join President Trump in securing the border and defeating the swamp and woke mob. Mike Speedy will always fight for life and liberty. Mike Speedy is the conservative with the toughness to win. Mike Speedy, conservative for Congress.
I'm Mike Speedy, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Speedy for Congress.
Hi, this is Denny Smith. C&J is offering one of their great discount programs, and it's one you've got to take advantage of to upgrade your home's water system. Invest in one item, it's $250 off. 2 items, $500 off. And if you invest in 3 items, you'll get $750 off. They're also offering $25 off a bacteria sampling, something you should be doing every year. Act now and make your water system goals for 2024 a reality with C&J. They're local and they're affordable. 317-733-SOFT or cnjwater.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been solving garage door problems for 33 years. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today.
Today.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Imagine sleeping on a cloud with a new Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, or Sealy mattress, and you can say goodbye to restless nights and waking up sore, and you get the sleep you deserve and want. Don't miss our President's Day mattress sale where you can save up to $800, get free delivery, and interest-free financing. Sale ends Tuesday, February 27th, only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Coming up in 2 minutes, why Governor Eric Holcomb was in Texas over the weekend. Indiana Republican Congresswoman Victoria Spartz wants to keep her office. Her opponents, who thought she was retiring, aren't happy about it. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
Something is better than nothing. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's sentiment from one of the lead negotiators on border reforms proposed in the U.S. Senate.
Worst case scenario, we do nothing and another 2 million people cross this year, and we have even more national security issues than we even have right now.
Oklahoma Republican Senator James Lankford says the bill unveiled yesterday is an opening salvo on the border crisis and can be amended, though he also believes the current proposal would make a difference.
This bill doesn't focus on just limiting the number of people crossings. It dramatically increases the standard for asylum so that we identify people that don't qualify, which is the vast majority, and we deport them immediately.
Critics of the bill say it has loopholes, including a provision that mandates a border shutdown if illegal crossings hit an average of 5,000 a day. Lankford says that has been misinterpreted. The security package, which includes aid to Israel and Ukraine, is considered dead on arrival in the House.
Considering a Senate immigration proposal is a waste of time, House Republican leaders say, calling on senators to reject legislation that would give border shutdown authority to President Biden and toughen asylum thresholds.
I just don't believe that the Senate bill, as I've explained in all of our statements, meets the criteria that's necessary to solve the problem. That is what we are about here.
House Speaker Mike Johnson is endorsing a Republican-backed bill restoring many Trump-era border policies and restarting construction of border barriers.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Britain's King Charles is being treated for cancer. The palace isn't saying which kind, only that it was a separate issue found during his recent prostate condition.
Charles was treated for that enlarged prostate at a private hospital in London. At that time, that issue of concern was noticed, tests were run, and an undefined form of cancer was found.
Fox's Greg Palcott in London. The king is postponing public duties on doctor's orders, the palace describing a positive outlook about his treatment. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He went to see the problem for himself. 49 degrees, mostly sunny in downtown Indianapolis. All clear on the radar, low of 28 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb and other Republican governors joined Texas Governor Greg Abbott at the southern border Sunday.
The president is obligated by laws passed by Congress to actually secure the border and deny illegal entry. Texas has shown that we can reduce it to 3 people crossing across the border.
Your governor says he would like President Biden to secure the border. She said she was going to retire. Now she's changed her mind. Indiana Republican Congresswoman Victoria Spartz is running for re-election.
I truly believe, and meeting with a lot of people on the ground, these are challenging times, and I need people of the 5th District decide and God decide because I need to deliver for them.
She tells WIBC's Tony Katz she's motivated by concerns over the national debt and illegal immigration. Larry Savage, who's now running against Spartz, says if she was serious about her job, she would have held President Biden responsible.
Draft legislation to hold him responsible for crimes against America. They have sold us out to China. They're letting military-aged men cross our border. She's not trying to stop it. Get on TV and stop it. Get on TV and get support.
Savage says Sparks isn't the person for the job. Republican Jim Lucas has represented Indiana House District 69 since 2012. John Herrick reports on the woman who says that needs to change.
Trish Whitcomb is the daughter of former Indiana Governor Edgar Whitcomb. She's running uncontested in the Democrat primary for that District 69 seat, which includes parts of Jackson, Bartholomew, Scott, and Washington counties. In an interview last August, she told Indy Politics,
when I saw what happened with Representative Lucas, I thought this district deserves better.
She was discussing Lucas's drunk driving arrest, and after filing the paperwork to run for office Monday, she mentioned Lucas's recent incident where he showed his gun to students at the State House. She says Lucas's judgment is poor. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
QC Kinetics patient Robert Patterson, a veteran and business owner, struggled at work and in the gym with chronic agonizing shoulder pain.
Those injuries just continue to nag, and if you don't treat them, they just get worse. And I just kind of abused my body for a long time, and it finally had said enough is enough.
That's okay, because QC Kinetics tells your pain, hey, enough is enough. Their regenerative treatments bring you relief by helping restore and repair damaged tissue with no drugs, no downtime, and best of all, no surgery.
I was able to exceed the goals that I had previously attained in the gym. It was absolutely worth its weight in gold, so I could continue to live life without limitation.
Ready to get lasting relief from your joint pain? Call QC Kinetics to learn more about how natural biologic treatments can get you lasting results. Call now. It's a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05, here's Matt Baer.
All right, I am told, Harrison, that Delaware Street downtown is shut down at St. Clair Street because of some investigation activity going on right now. It puts you on Meridian, maybe New Jersey or College to get out of downtown right now. Crash at Georgetown Road at 59th, looking at eastbound 465 on the northeast side. That's stop and go. Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. East side northbound 465 slows before Penn Pike up to 71st. And southbound 465 stop and go right now from 70 down to south of Shadeland. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Shop Grand Appliance for unbeatable prices, fast delivery, and expert installation on huge selection of in-stock appliances. Learn more at grandappliance.com or your local showroom. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies remain overnight. Low temperatures in the upper 20s. Tomorrow, back to mostly cloudy skies. High temperatures in the upper 40s. On Wish TV, Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's... Yeah, man, it actually does not surprise me one bit that President Biden has declined his Super Bowl interview, a tradition before the Super Bowl that the network that is running the Super Bowl will air an interview with the President of the United States before the game. But this is the second consecutive year that Joe Biden has decided not to sit down for an interview, and it's not surprising because he just doesn't have the chops, man.
No, he doesn't know what's going on. And think about this.
He doesn't know who's playing.
He doesn't know who he is. The Super Bowl, even the pregame show, think of all the eyeballs that are going to be on that broadcast. That's a lot of people. Every year, it's the most watched television event in the United States, sometimes worldwide.
I mean, his polling numbers are so bad across the board. He could have got at least, and maybe tried to defend this turd of a border bill.
Right.
That they just dropped on us late last night.
You could control the narrative, or at least try to deflect in front of all of those eyeballs.
I don't know who, look, last year it was Fox. I don't think he's going to go. I mean, it probably would have been somebody like Brett Baer that would have interviewed him. I doubt he goes on Fox. He stays away from Fox. But this year, I don't know who it would have been that interviewed
CBS.
him. Oh, is it CBS?
Yes.
So Scott Pelley could throw him a few softballs.
Right. Nora O'Donnell.
Yeah.
She's worthless. Nora O'Donnell could go up there and prop him up and make him look great, but he's not going to do it. Now, if you're wondering what it would have sounded like had Nora O'Donnell sat down with Joe Biden before the Super Bowl, close your eyes, turn the radio up, and this is how it would have played out.
You're President of the United States, Commander-in-Chief.
You ain't black.
That's how the interview would have played out.
I'm the president and you ain't black.
That's it. That's it. And again, the reason he's not doing this is, you're right, he doesn't have the mental capacity to not make a fool of himself.
Yeah.
And it would be pre-recorded. It's not like it would be live, but he can't even do a pre-recorded 3-minute fluff piece with CBS. Border bill, a lot of chatter about it. None of it good, unless you're a Democrat. If you're a Democrat, you love this border bill because you want as many people into the United States as possible. You want them all having kids, and you all want them to vote Democrat for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, I think I know why they sat on this thing for weeks and then finally dumped it to the public late last night. I mean, and then what does it tell you when Mitch McConnell, crying Chuck Schumer, and Joe Biden all are praising this bill? CNN was fawning all over themselves, fawning all over this bill yesterday. That just I mean, what does that say automatically?
So in case you missed it, the Senate released the draft of this, quote, bipartisan border bill that Mitch McConnell loves so much, $118 billion, of which $60 billion would go to Ukraine, $14 billion to Israel, and $20 billion for border security in the United States. So Ukraine gets 3 times the amount that the United States does for border security. And not only does this bill codify 1.5 million illegal border crossers into law, but the, quote, border emergency that's in this automatically gets implemented at 5,000 crossings per day, which can be overturned by Joe Biden at any time.
So we're still letting thousands of illegals in daily, paying for their lawyers, paying for their health care. But the good news is we're giving Joe Biden the ability to cap that number if it gets above a certain threshold, 5,000 a day.
And as the late, great Billy Mays would say, but wait, there's more.
That's like 35,000 people a week.
And in case the 1.5 million illegals isn't enough, it locks in green card giveaways through 2030. So Joe Biden's going to be passing out green cards to illegals like Oprah does cars on special shows. You get a green card. You get a green card. Everybody gets a green card. I'm telling you, this thing is a turd. This thing is a big, lumpy, peanut-filled, corn-loaded turd, and Mitch McConnell loves it. Cocaine Mitch loves it. Butt sniffers like Brian Kilmeade over at Fox love it because it keeps the Ukraine war going. Ukraine gets $60 billion. The United States gets $20 in a United States border bill. Why is anything going to Ukraine or even Israel if this is a United States border bill?
Yeah, they all need to be separated.
Completely. 100%. Now, Chuck Schumer, old crying Chuck, he knows that once people get wind of how this really is going to work, it might be a tough sell. So take a listen to his angle. This is Chuck Schumer speaking about why the Senate and the House should pass this bill.
We're at a turning point in America. This bill is crucial, and history will look back on it and say, did America fail itself? Why is it crucial? Well, if we don't aid Ukraine, Putin will walk all over Ukraine. We will lose the war, and we could be fighting in Eastern Europe in a NATO ally in a few years. Americans won't like that.
Oh, boy.
I like how he says we. Like we are involved in the Ukraine-Russia war.
Oh.
We are not involved.
If it spills over into NATO, we are. And if we don't get this money to Ukraine, your sons and daughters might be going to a NATO ally to fight.
That's so ridiculous. We've seen Russia against Ukraine for a while now, right? We've seen this. It's not like Russia's all of a sudden going to say, all right, now that we've finally conquered Zelensky in Ukraine, we're marching on. We're going to Poland. We're going to France. He goes all full Howard Dean. Then we're taking over the United States. Yeah! That's not happening. That is never going to happen. That's not what Russia is doing with Ukraine. They're not moving on after that, and Chuck Schumer acting like they are is laughable.
And Ukraine gets the $60 billion with zero oversight, of course, no audits or
right.
Accountability in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, the pensions of the members of the Ukrainian government covered, taken care of. A lot of the United States arms finding their way on the black market now. You're right. There's no oversight at all.
It might not even get out of this bill. Might not even get out of the Senate. Getting the 60 votes for this garbage. I think there's some Democrats aren't going to vote for it. I've read that, Republicans like James Langford from Oklahoma, who helped negotiate this deal, probably need to be primaried or voted out the next election.
Right. Langford, Romney, McConnell, like these are the swamp monsters here that want to continue giving your money to Ukraine. Now, if we had everything smooth over here in the United States, if our border was secure, if we had a good grasp of the homeless situation, if crime was down, okay, maybe it's time to pass out some charity. But we're struggling right now in this country. We're struggling bad. And we're giving 3 times as much to Ukraine as we are for the United States in a United States border bill. Not going to happen. Allison, let's do a round of Is It Racist?
Oh. It's time to play Is It Racist?
Now, if you're new to the Hammer and Nigel show and you're wondering how do we play this game, here to explain is AOC.
Is it racist? Is something racist? Yes or no?
So AOC is the de facto captain of the squad, right? Like if they ever have like a pickup basketball game, AOC goes out there for the jump ball. If they ever have a pickup football game, AOC goes out there and she calls the coin toss. She's the captain. Ayanna Pressley, also a squad member. And Ayanna Pressley took to the House floor to rip and rant about Walgreens closing one of their stores in a crime-ridden area in Boston. She claims it's racist.
Mr. Speaker, Walgreens is planning to close yet another pharmacy in the Massachusetts 7th, this time on Warren Street in Roxbury, a community that is 85% Black and Latino. This closure is a part of a larger trend of abandoning low-income communities like the previous closures in Mattapan and Hyde Park, both in the Massachusetts 7th. When a Walgreens leaves a neighborhood, they disrupt the entire community, and they take with them baby formula, diapers, asthma inhalers, life-saving medications, and of course, jobs. These closures are not arbitrary and they are not innocent. They are life-threatening acts of racial and economic discrimination.
Now, before I get your answer, Nige, I want to make sure you've got all the information. You've heard Ayanna Pressley saying Walgreens is racist because they closed down this Boston suburb area. Walgreens responded to the New York Post saying, quote, "The Roxbury, Massachusetts closure was due to several factors, including the cost of operating, low prescription volume, and low reimbursement rates." The New York Post also points out that while Walgreens didn't specifically name crime or retail theft as a reason for the Roxbury closure, several viral videos of thieves ransacking the company's store have raised suspicion on social media.
That's what all these closings are, ladies and gentlemen. Why did Starbucks close on Monument Circle?
Crime and violence.
Why did... look what's happening in Boston. They're falling apart. They just had to shut down their inner city rec center where underprivileged kids go to play basketball and sports and swim to stay out of trouble to house hundreds and hundreds of illegal immigrants. And she didn't address the crime that's in the city.
Of course not.
She didn't address any fault of the soft on crime policies in Boston. Now, Boston does have a low homicide rate, but the fact that you could just walk in, these criminals know that. You can walk into these pharmacies, these drugstores, and just fill them up. Fill up garbage bag after garbage bag. The employees can't do anything, and cops won't arrest them.
The employee will get fired if they try to intervene. And now Ayanna Pressley's like, well, I can't believe they're leaving. Well, they're probably tired of getting all of their employees in danger and having all of their merchandise stolen. So, no, I don't think that's it's not racist for Walgreens to close a location because of a lot of grab and go and crime activity. All right, Matt Baer.
Southbound 65 stop and go to downtown from 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slowing up from Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. And on the south side, eastbound 465 stop and go traffic around Man Road. Northbound 37 stop and go Epler up to 465. Lawrence northbound 465 stop and go traffic from Penn Pike on up to 75th. And a crash northwest side, Georgetown Road at 59th. Traffic sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Stores provide innovative products and services for small business, remote workers and learners, even teachers and parents. Explore more at your local Staples store. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
If you're watching the YouTube stream, you'll notice that Nigel and I both have Hammer and Nigel show gear on today. Nigel is rocking out the gray hoodie. He just ran off to the can. I believe he's got diarrhea. But I've got the Hammer and Nigel Show t-shirt on today. You can order these bad boys right now. Store.hammerandnigel.com. Store.hammerandnigel.com. We've got pint glasses for Beer Sample Friday. Is This Anything shirts. Lewd New Dude in the New shirts. The I Hate Rob Kendall or I Love Rob Kendall shirts. You name it, it's there. Store.hammerandnigel.com. Right now, 52 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. We'll play Are You Okay With This next.
The Voice of Health Minute with Dr. Robert Prather of Holistic Integration. I make the connection, tick bite, Lyme's disease. Here in Indiana especially, what do you find?
The thing that I've treated the most is rickettsia, Rocky Mountain spotted fever. I've had several patients with that. There were 4 guys who were hunting partners. One of them had come down with an infection, and eventually all 4 of them started to have the same symptoms. The second guy who came down with the symptoms didn't like how it was going for the first guy. So he had come to me. I had diagnosed him with rickettsia. He had also had the same doctor, and the doctor was very upset that he was coming to me, and he was very much against the diagnosis of rickettsia. He did not show up positive for the blood test for it. But the signs, symptoms, everything else like that was so much in line, I went with my gut on the diagnosis. The only one who got treated at our office was the only one who survived.
The Voice of Health with Dr. Robert Prather. Sundays at 8 p.m. or anytime at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
Dog parents are loving Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend Premium Dog Food.
The way she acts and the way she moves, it's just so much better. And she's like a puppy again. It's unbelievable.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a freeze-dried raw food made with 0 artificial preservatives, so it's naturally shelf-stable with no mess, freezer, or fridge required. Plus, it's full of premium turkey, beef, salmon, and meat your dog will love.
We started with Nature's Blend. She's happy, she sleeps well, she's energetic. I am just delighted with this product.
When given the choice, Nature's Blend and Amazon's #1 bestseller in dry dog food, 29 out of 30 dogs chose Nature's Blend first.
I'm so confident your dog will love it. Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee.
Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of delicious beef liver treats. Go to drmartypets.com/beef or text BEEF to 511-511. Text BEEF to 511-511. All pets are unique. Your pet's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply. Studies available upon request.
Your bathroom is boring and basic too. It seems like there's nothing you can do. A better bath awaits. You'll feel brand new, relaxing in a world of peace at the Bath Authority.
Hey, it's Rob. Right now, schedule your free in-home estimate and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. Restrictions apply. A better bath awaits.
You're our priority at the Bath Authority.
Well-changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Of course I love my parents, I really do, but often felt angry with them because I was always screaming so they could hear me on the telephone. All that has changed thanks to the CapTel phone from Relay, Indiana. We're so much better off because now my parents can read what I'm saying on the CapTel caption telephone. Our conversations are pleasant. Because through voice recognition technology, my words appear to them on an easy-to-read screen right on the telephone. Thanks, Relay Indiana.
Learn more at RelayIndiana.com.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show. Oh, yeah! So that popular social media account Libs of TikTok posted about the Indiana State Museum, which is funded by the state of Indiana, thus your tax dollars. They're having a kids program. This should be awesome. The kids programs says to come decorate protest signs for BLM and anti-Israel protests. One sign contains the genocide slogan, "From the river to the sea." Hammer, are you okay with this?
No, not okay with this, but I'm also not surprised by this. Like, this is a trend in society. Try to turn kids into activists as quick as humanly possible. Like, at the college level, well, hell, that's too late now. Like the Indiana State Museum, they're taking it a step forward. They want your young kids to come in. And this little exhibit where you can make your own protest sign, they've got a lot of them hanging up that the kids have made. And there's one of them that's "From the river to the sea," which is a total genocide chant done by Hamas terrorists and Hamas supporters.
Yeah, it means that from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea, which that's Israel.
Right. Wipe out Israel.
Yes, in terms, that's what that means.
Like, if the Indiana State Museum wants to have a protest section, okay, because protests have been an important part of America's history. It really has. But now you're trying to turn young kids who don't really know any better. They're probably just going to write whatever their parents tell them to, or something they've heard on television, and they're hanging it up there. No, this is a bad look. Stop making your kids activists.
A Florida mom is being banned from dropping her kids off at their Christian school because she has an ad on her vehicle featuring a link to her personal OnlyFans account. Here is Michelle, a.k.a. Piper Fawn, if you'd like to find her on OnlyFans, talking about being banned from promoting her adult content.
Well, it's definitely linked to, explicit content, adult content for sure. My husband and I had this, little wild, behind closed doors lifestyle that we've now decided to share. I was forced to have to, take it off or not come on campus.
You okay with this?
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. I feel like Randy Marsh right here. Well, I'm sorry, I thought this was America. Listen, she's taking her kids to school. She's doing the right thing. She's earning a living. She's got a good little side project going on here. And it's not like she's got sexually explicit photos, hanging up.
You say, yeah, it's just a link.
It's just a link. Right. There's nothing wrong with that. No, I don't like this at all. Now, I just looked up Piper Fawn, and okay.
There's that grunt again.
Yeah, I mean,
there's the.
I expected a little better, especially being from Florida, but she's got the right to do it. It's just a link. It's not like she's got a photo of her butthole on her window.
That's where you draw the line.
That's where I draw the line.
Okay. What do you want to do next? We're running out of time here.
New Hampshire.
You want to do the New Hampshire? A small town in New Hampshire is upset about a new business called The Diaper Spa, where people wear diapers, adults wear diapers and pretend to be babies. The owner is a therapist who says it's not a fetish thing. She claims it's a form of therapy to help people process issues from their childhood. Are you okay with this?
So this is in New Hampshire,
Yes.
a business where adults wear diapers and pretend to be babies.
Yes.
And the owner says it's not a fetish thing. Narrator. But it was a fetish thing. It always was a fetish thing.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to say yes, because if this is what consenting adults want to do with their time, who am I to deny them? Now, I'm not going to show up to a diaper party with other adults where everybody's looking to put their keys in the bowl, but who am I to deny somebody else a good time? Now, if you're really serious about diapers, I know somebody that would be perfect for this club.
Oh.
Hi, folks. President Joe Poopy Pants Biden. And when I'm not busy destroying the country, I'm listening to the Hammer and Nigel show on 93 WIBC. Not a joke.
That dude wears a diaper, and I'm telling you right now, he would love that club. All right, we're going to chat with Mock from the Chicks on the Right program. She's going to join us next. But right now, we'll take a look at the news with Harrison Silcox.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
She changed her mind. Sunny, 49 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. No rain on your radar. Low of 28 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 529. She's not retiring. She's running for re-election. Indiana Republican Congresswoman Victoria Spartz tells WIBC's Tony Katz why she changed her mind.
I truly believe, and meeting with a lot of people on the ground, these are challenging times, and I need people of the 5th District decide and God decide, because I need to deliver for them.
Spartz says she's concerned about the growing national debt and crisis at the border. Spartz is now GOP opponents aren't happy with the flip-flop. Donnie Burgess reports.
So my response is a slap in the face.
Republican Larry Savage. He's a businessman who wanted Spartz' seat in Congress. He says Spartz does nothing for Hoosiers in District 5, let alone for the rest of America.
We haven't seen her in any of the county stuff and any of the 5th District. We haven't seen her. She hasn't held this president responsible for the crimes that he's committed against the United States. She should be very vocal about that.
Savage says Spartz isn't transparent and has clearly been planning this re-election campaign for months. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Johnson County deputies are looking for a suspect from a shooting this morning that sent a 35-year-old to the hospital. Jacob Harville was shot at a home in northeast Johnson County, about 10 minutes out of Franklin. Alicia Haupt is who officers are looking for. That's all that's been reported for now. President Biden says the Senate immigration plan will get the border under control. Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
Asked what his message is to House Republicans who were dismissing a bipartisan package in the Senate, President Biden said,
"Why won't they give me the help all this time? And now they're starting about the border. It's out of control." Well, guess what? Everything in that bipartisan bill gives me control. It gives us control.
The legislation would toughen asylum standards for migrants and speed up removal proceedings for those illegally crossing the border. The union representing Border Patrol agents is endorsing the plan, saying while not perfect, the legislation is far better than the status quo. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Trish Whitcomb is the daughter of former Indiana Governor Edgar Whitcomb, who died in 2016. She's running uncontested in the Democrat primary for House District 69. In an interview last August with Any Politics, she said,
"I'll help facilitate where I can to get resources down here so that young people can stay in these great communities and can be a vital part of our future."
That District 69 seat has been occupied by Republican Jim Lucas for 12 years. Whitcomb said Lucas's drunk driving arrest last year and him showing his gun at students at the State House last week are examples of his poor judgment and why she wants to replace him. And with traffic at 532, here's Matt Baer.
Yeah, Harrison looking at southbound 65, stop and go MLK 220 first. Northbound lanes out of downtown, also stuffy right now after the north split 220 First Street. Eastbound 70, stop and go traffic from west to Meridian, Illinois. Crash northwest side, Georgetown Road at 59th. Eastbound 465, stop and go from Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Suburban Indy Home and Outdoor Living Show. The Spring Suburban Indy Home and Outdoor Living Show offers free parking and $5 tickets at suburbanindyshows.com February 9th through the 11th at Grand Park in Westfield. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies remain overnight. Low temperatures in the upper 20s. Tomorrow, back to mostly cloudy skies. High temperatures in the upper 40s. On Wish TV, Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. Hello, I'm Nigel. That's Jason Hammer over there with a special guest on the hotline.
She is one half of the Chicks on the Right program. WIBC alumni, Mock, joins us. Mock, I'm sure you've had time to read all 350 plus pages of this new immigration bill. So please break down every single one of your thoughts, please.
Well, I have not read a single word of it, except that I just know I hate it.
Yeah,
if the rumors are true, then like all the stuff that every decent, common sense Republican has feared, it would say it says that and then some. And I don't think this is going anywhere.
And from what I've gathered, and again, I've not read all 350 plus pages. I've read pages, I've read excerpts, but from what I've gathered, the fact that Mitch McConnell thinks this is a good deal, the fact that Cocaine Mitch is on board with this and thinks this is some sort of win for the American people when the money going to Ukraine is more than the budget for the United States Marine Corps in previous years,
right?
That's a problem to me.
Well, it's a problem that this has anything to do with the Ukraine at all.
Yes.
I'm so sick of this. Like, how do they not know that what American people want is a standalone, secure the border bill that only worries about our country for once? And so if they want to hash out stuff for Israel, if they want to hash out stuff for Ukraine, have at it, but not in this freaking bill. This is what's on fire. This is the emergency. This is what impacts us directly right now is this invasion. Put together a freaking standalone bill that secures the border and end this. This is so stupid.
And
all the debate about it is ridiculous.
And Mock, they already had that bill. I think it's like HB2, which is a Border Security Act. They have separate funding for Israel. But in this bill, there's no accountability for the money going to Ukraine. And it allows for more than 2 million illegal aliens to continue to stream through our border. I can't understand. I'll do you one better. Hammer said, boy, it should tell you something if Mitch McConnell says this is a good bill. No, it should tell us something that CNN was raving about this bill this morning. It should tell you something that Joe Biden wants to sign this bill. That's what we really need to be looking at.
Well, and they're trying to spin it like, oh, see, Republicans, they're just making this political because now they could have immediate improvements and they won't. No, what would have immediate improvements is if Joe Biden just undid all the crap that he did on day one with his executive orders that undid Trump's executive orders. He has the power to fix this. Everybody knows it. Everyone with common sense anyway knows that. We don't even need all of this congressional nonsense to move forward. He needs to move forward. And him pretending to be like strapped down and unable to do anything without Congress is a load of crap, and everybody knows it.
Yeah, because that's something Nigel and I have talked about the last couple of weeks. All of a sudden, it's kind of funny how the polling comes out that shows Biden's underwater with this whole border situation, and now he's Johnny Tough Guy when it comes to the border.
Right.
You know, he's Mr. Billy Badass. Well, if I only had the authority to fix the border, I would.
I'd shut it down right now.
Right.
I'm old enough to remember when talking about shutting down the southern border was racist, Mock.
That's exactly right. And isn't it interesting that at the exact same time he's pretending to have his hands tied behind his back, he's going around making speeches saying the Supreme Court shut down my student loan relief, but they didn't stop me from doing it. And now, so he's going to play tough guy about that, like defying actual law, and then he's going to pretend he can't just write an executive order that stops all this nonsense asylum BS that we're dealing with at the border. I mean, it's laughable, except for the fact that there are so many leftists out there who buy it. I mean, I
can't believe that they can watch all the videotapes of the invasion happening, like literally anywhere. They can go anywhere on the internet and see this happening at so many different entry points, and they still buy in to the fact that Joe Biden somehow can't do anything. Give me a break.
And now the Democrats are going to turn around and, like you said, they're going to point at the Republicans. These Republicans want a wide open border because they won't sign this bill. And then Chuck Schumer earlier today, like trying to scare people into thinking that, well, if Ukraine doesn't get their money, who knows? It could be your sons and daughters that are over there fighting in a few years, trying to scare us.
No, that is not happening. I can't even imagine. Can you imagine, like, Gen Z at this point being willing to go fight for their country? Every one of them hate it.
Right.
Like, so many Gen Zers are like, I don't even like America, so there's no way that they're going to get anybody to do a draft or whatever. There's just no way. There's no way.
Do you honestly think, though, Joe Biden has any idea of what's really going on? Because I'm somebody, and maybe I'm alone, I don't know. I'm somebody that feels like his fastball left a long time ago. I think there's a lot of people telling him things just to make him happy, but I don't think Joe Biden really has any idea of what's going on, and that's why they're afraid to put him out there. We talked earlier on our show about how he's not doing the Super Bowl interview. This year, the game is not on Fox, so he can't use that as an excuse. Joe Biden doesn't know what's going on.
Wow, I didn't hear that. That's interesting that he's not going to do that interview. But I'm not surprised, because you're right. I think his handlers are absolutely terrified of any single moment that he goes off script, which is why so often when you see him, making a speech and going off script, he'll say something like, "Oh, I better stop before I get in trouble," or before Jill, pulls me off the stage.
Right.
Because literally everyone around him does not want him to talk. They are terrified of what he'll say.
And you think about the Super Bowl pregame show, like,
that's a lot of eyeballs.
That's a lot of eyeballs on that broadcast. And this is your chance to spin things however you want. But he's not capable of doing that because he doesn't know what the hell's going on. Now,
Trump should do it. Trump should be interviewed immediately.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, though. Like, you put Trump on there, he's going to start talking about how people say he looks like Elvis.
I know. We totally made fun of that on our show this morning. But I will say that his interview with Maria was one of his better ones. And, I'm very critical of him most of the time. But that was one of the less, like, eye-rolling, interviews I've sat through of his. Like, I thought he did a really nice job and really, it is true that he is unbreakable. The fact that he stays so calm in the midst of being under all these potential convictions, like, it is amazing how unshakable he is.
Hey, does it matter? Because I know the interview you're talking about with Maria Bartiromo from Fox News Business, I believe, and she kept on peppering him with questions about his vice presidential pick. Is that an important pick for Donald Trump, or does it matter?
Well, that's a great question, because I don't know how much it matters to anybody, really. But what I was impressed with is that, because he talked a lot about Tim Scott in that interview. He mentioned Kristi Noem.
Yep.
But the one thing that he said that surprised me, because it was a really mature answer from him, is that, she said, "What is your criteria? Like, what are you looking for in your next VP pick?" And he said, "Somebody who could be president in case there's an emergency."
Yep.
And I was so glad to hear him say that, because I would have expected that he would have been like, somebody I get along with, whatever, like something really Trumpy. But he said the absolutely right thing. And so I was glad about that. He wouldn't absolutely say with certainty who he's picking, but the fact that he mentioned those two specifically was interesting.
Chatting with Mock from the Chicks on the Right program. Mock, you're somebody that has your finger on the pulse of pop culture. How much of the Grammy Awards did you watch last night?
I watched 0%, but I caught up with all of the clips this morning. And I opened up the Daily Mail this morning and saw the giant headline that, like, the world was furious at Taylor Swift for allegedly snubbing Celine Dion, who was the person who announced her as the best album of the year winner, and apparently that made her like a record setter, because only 3 women, I guess, have won that before, and she's won 4 albums of the year now, so that was a big deal. So when she got on stage with like her entire, all the collaborators, that she was freaking out and like super excited. She did not make eye contact with Celine when she was taking the award out of her hands, and so everyone just lit her up on social media. They were
come
so mad.
on!
How dare she snub Celine Dion? And then there was a moment, like literally 30 seconds later. There were all kinds of cameras catching them hugging backstage. So she was just excited in the moment, and she didn't thank Celine right then. She waited until they were backstage. But man, people are just dying for a reason to hate on Taylor Swift. They will look for any reason they can to figure out a way to trash talk her. It is absolutely out of control.
It feels
I don't
like
even want to defend her. Like, I'm not
Right.
even a fan.
Taylor Swift is like the New York Yankees and the Dallas Cowboys or the Lakers right now. You either love her or you hate her, and very few people are in the middle. She's kind of got that appeal right now. Like, I got to be honest, I don't get all the hate. I get why people are maybe tired of, hearing about her, but hell, that's pretty much any celebrity, right?
And her politics have something to do with it, possibly. I think she's kept her mouth shut for a couple of years since her candidate that she backed in Tennessee got boat raced by Marsha Blackburn. But have you heard the rumors behind the scenes? The Biden administration's quietly begging Taylor Swift to endorse him?
Well, and it's ridiculous because, of course, she will. Like, there's no conspiracy here. She's absolutely going to endorse him. She hates Donald Trump. She made that very clear in her documentary that was all over Netflix.
Yeah.
So, like, anyone trying to pretend that there's some big, giant, super secret thing that's happening, no, she's going to endorse him because she would without him asking her. That's just who she is. She's a total lefty. So nobody should be surprised by that. And yes, I agree that people can hate on her for her politics. But right now it's to the point where she's just there's so much that's unobjectionable about her. And so I am one of those people in the middle where I don't care if I ever hear a Taylor Swift song for the rest of my life. I don't love her and I don't hate her. I just cannot believe that people feel so much in one of those camps or the other. Calm down. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see what you did there. Mock from the Chicks on the Right program, where can we find your awesome show?
You can always catch us pretty much on any social platform at 8 a.m. Eastern on weekdays, YouTube, Twitter, all the Facebook pages, Rumble, Locals, we're everywhere.
Mock, you're the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Weather in Indiana. It's a couple of weeks. We go from Arctic sub-zero degrees to temperatures above freezing with buckets of rain. And you know what? That means potholes, ladies and gentlemen. I get off on West Street every day coming downtown to work. They're all over the place. It's one of the reasons why I'm a AAA member. For the peace of mind of their roadside assistance, flat tires, dead batteries, AAA is there 24/7, 365 days a year.
And if you need new tires, AAA's got you covered with their mobile tire service, My Pit Crew. They bring the tire shop to you. I know this because I've used this service. Had a flat tire at home, called My Pit Crew, and they came to my house. All you have to do is visit mypitcrew.com, pick out your tires, and schedule the installation. And AAA members get a discount on My Pit Crew tire installation. So do yourself a favor and join AAA today. Visit AAA.com or call 844-GO-AAA-GO or stop by your local AAA office.
Hey, is your family expanding? Maybe you are working from home and need more space. Mark Dietl has your back. Nobody else I'd trust to sell my house or find me a new one than Mark Dietl, real estate expert. Like Andy and Kim in Fortville. They had an 8-month-old. It was time to add more space. Called up Mark Dietl. Their old home had multiple offers and went under contract in 48 hours. And at the same time, Mark helped them find a bigger, newer, better place.
Listen, you got a lot of options in the real estate game, but what separates Mark Dietl from the competition is the guarantee. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That is the guarantee, and that's what makes Mark Dietel the best in the business. Contact him today, 317-755-4232, or go to markdietel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Hey, got a question for you. Have you saved more than $200,000 for retirement? Do you want this money to work for you without taking a lot of risk? Hammer and Nigel here. What if you could take this money and get an upfront 13% bonus and get a competitive return that's averaged 7% a year for the past 10 years? Sounds pretty darn good, doesn't it?
To get all the details, call Bill Demery right here in Indy. He's my retirement guy. He's your retirement guy. Call Bill right now, 317-648-5120. Discover how you could get an upfront 13% bonus, earn a competitive return that's averaged 7% a year for the last 10 years. And it's all backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world. This offer won't last long. Call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
Discovery, innovation, progress. It all starts right here at IU Indianapolis. We're making cutting-edge discoveries in science, technology, and healthcare. We're investing in Indiana's future with degrees that make a difference. We're partnering with local businesses to drive our city forward. And we're just getting started. See where we're going at indianapolis.iu.edu/start.
It's Zero Res, 3 rooms of carpet cleaning starting at $119, plus a free hallway and 20% off all other services. 388-5141, online at zeroresindy.com.
Jackson Hewitt offers you your biggest refund, guaranteed, or your money back, plus $100. Hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Valentine's gift from Pierce Jewelers that will say, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
Yeah, Hammer looking at southbound 65, slow into downtown 21st to Meridian Penn. Inbound 70 on the east side, a little bit of a drag by Emerson Avenue, and then on the east side, southbound 465, stop and go traffic after Washington 2 south as Shadeland, and a crash 59th Street at Georgetown Road. Traffic sponsored by Suburban Indy Home and Outdoor Living Show. The Spring Suburban Indy Home and Outdoor Living Show offers free parking and $5 tickets at suburbanindyshows.com February 9th through the 11th at Grand Park in Westfield. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
49 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Coming up after 6 o'clock, everything you need to know about this quote-unquote border security bill. It's finally been released to the public. They did it late last night, and I understand why they did it late last night on a Sunday, is because it sucks, and we'll break down exactly why it sucks, what are the numbers, and is Ukraine involved, is Israel involved, and is there an actual border plan at all? That's coming up after 6.
Is there anything for the border in the border bill? We'll break it down for you. That's Big Nige. I'm Jason
Hello.
Hammer. And Allison, something exciting has happened, and I need some mood music.
Oh. My goodness. Dramatic.
Shamrock Shakes are now at McDonald's, baby! They're here! They're early this year, but they're there!
I know where I'm stopping on my way to work tomorrow.
Last year, it wasn't until February 20th that the greeny goodness of the Shamrock Shake blessed its presence at McDonald's. But this year, well before Valentine's Day, right now you can get a Shamrock Shake or the Oreo Shamrock McFlurry.
Well,
so
my goodness.
You've got that going for you tonight.
Why would they wait till late February to release that before St. Patrick's Day? I would have released it January 1st.
Just put it out there all the time. Like that in the McRib.
If you can
Stop taking it away.
If you can find a McDonald's with a working shake machine.
Right.
You'll be able to buy the Shamrock Shake tomorrow.
Good news is the Shamrock Shake is back. The bad news is nobody in America has a working shake machine at McDonald's. Can we give away some concert tickets here, Nige? You be all right with that?
More?
We have got more. We've got tickets to see Luke Bryan.
Luke Bryan.
That is coming up in the fall, September 7th.
I'm Luke Bryan. Not as good as TKW.
No, TKW's did not get out of the park. The Ruoff Music Center, September 7th. It's a Saturday night. Luke Bryan.
Oh, that's a big one.
This is a big one. And caller number 9, we're going to give you the tickets right now. We're not even going to make you play a game or anything. We're just going to give you the tickets. 239-9393. Now, if you don't win tomorrow, your chance to win Luke Bryan tickets and Barry Manilow tickets to give away as well. So we're not above bribing you to listen to this program. That's what we're going to do.
Not at all.
So don't go anywhere. Your chance to win, caller number 9, 239-9393.
Are you dealing with foot, knee, hip, or back pain? We can help. Hi, this is Phoebe with the Good Feet store, and I want to talk about your discomfort. Did you know that your feet have a quarter of all the bones in your whole body? With 4 arches, 33 joints, and over 100 ligaments and tendons in each foot, it's no wonder so many people suffer from foot, knee, hip, and back pain. Stop throwing your money away on all those over-the-counter products and expensive shoes that just can't do what the Good Feet store can. At America's Arch Support Store, we teach you everything you need to know about how our patented 3-step system will work to solve your problems so you can get back to living the life you love without your pain getting in the way. Come in today for your free personalized fitting and test walk and trade in those bad feet for some good feet. Don't just live with the pain. Discover your options at the Good Feet store. We're in Fishers and Greenwood. Call 829-1040 or visit goodfeet.com to make your appointment today. Get back to doing what you love with Arch Supports from the Good Feet store.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, savvy, staying ahead of the market at every turn, finding ways to do more with less, and taking advantage of every opportunity that comes their way. That's why Comcast Business is introducing the Small Business Bonus. For a limited time, you can get up to a $1,000 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle when you switch to Comcast Business, the company with the largest, fastest, reliable network. So if you're a small business owner, don't wait. Call or go online to learn about the $1,000 bonus today.
Give your business a head start in 2024. Get started with internet and security for $49 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement when you add 1 unlimited mobile line. Call or go online to switch today. Ends 2/21/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 100 megabits per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no 2 people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Dads happen. There's a whole lot of stuff that can mess up the look of your vehicle. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal. PDR is paintless dent removal that saves your factory finish and is way less invasive than traditional body shop repairs. And it's faster, too.